everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode with us, Ginton Dice. We're a bunch of us nerdy friends that came to a virtual table to play Dungeons and Dragons. Um,
Oh,
so first off, I guess we have an announcement. I am sorry that this is not live streaming on Twitch right now. So it seems we were having an issue with something of my systems, which of course, why wouldn't I? So here we are, YouTube. Thank you for having us. So hopefully we'll get that fixed for next time so that we can actually be live and do something. So I'm sorry.
And syrup.
And syrup. I'm sorry and syrup. Syrup is sorry.
Are you gonna fill each individual compartment of the waffle?
Why not? You know, just every little comb. Just gonna.
So, other than that, I do not believe we have any announcements. So,
Maple syrup.
no other thing to go by. Why don't we go ahead and jump into the Aztec trials?
Okay, all above 10 on my practice rolls.
Alright, guys.
You're
So-
never above a 10 again after that.
Where we
It's gonna be nat ones from here on out.
last
Based on
left
the
off.
4 nat 20s last time as well.
Alright, so where we last left off. You guys, after confirming that the fort that Ace had made his abode was totally destroyed with only the clothing remains of Ace, you all head back to the capital to get whatever belongings there is left, to get prepared, and then to head out to receive, or not to receive, but to retrieve and receive, the thing that has been somewhat the bane of most of y'all's existence, the Sphere of Oasis. You all, after flying and getting close by, you all have noticed the shift and the difference of the terrain, as it is now like an assy like lake with a waterfall into it, with a bunch of like caterpillar centipede looking creatures roaming around through the acid, seem to be not affected by it at all. After a split amongst the party, one to retrieve the sphere and the other to just see if they can float in acid, Arissa, who dimension door to go and retrieve the sphere, noticing that she was in like the acid itself, if it wasn't thanks to a protection from energy to somewhat mitigate as much as it can, she managed to retrieve the sphere without much of an issue and come back without having to deal with the denizens of this area. Once you all retrieve the sphere and have grouped together, you can all start to feel the pull into it. There, you guys try to resist until the next day, which then Tay and Akuma had fell to its charm and was trying to get it into their own hands with an eagle chase, but thankfully that was about all it was. You guys lured the chasers to the encampment, where you were told by Legan to try to gain a boat and hopefully some sort of crew to sail across the seas to Mila. You guys managing to talk to one of the leaders there and came across Captain Vren, who you guys board his boat and a little bit of his crew. and started to set sail. Uh, I believe it was the following next day. There, you guys first started off a pretty peaceful like journey. Um, it was kind of relaxing to be on sea and to see how things were going until storm clouds slowly started showing in the very distance. As the next day came, so did the storm. As you all were called upon the decks of the ships and was quickly given orders to help maintain the ship while other crew members were also doing the same. Uh, we are just now coming out of a this storm with Tay and Alec, who was in charge of trying to keep the sails straight and intact without uh, messing up or being damaged. With a close call, you were able to get those tied down and secured. Um, you had Zoe, who was in charge to keep track of anybody who might need assistance. There, he did help Tay with one, which helped with the beginning process of manning down these sails, and then went to go help Alec until being tossed over. He did manage to catch the side of the boat, but in a prankster type way, made it sound like as he was falling off and Dimension Door bringing a lot of the soaking salty water into the captain's quarters, where he then decided to try to clean it all up. Um,
Prestidigitation. I just want to get it off of carpet and paper.
Orissa, who quickly went ahead and cast the dome over the captain and herself, made it a lot easier for the captain to bark out orders and to uh, navigate through the sea, except without windshield wipers. That kind of made it, a bitch, but it worked. Orissa, who uh, was in charge of just keeping an eye on everybody to make sure nobody was needing assistance, um, or in case if somebody was to fall over, Orissa was the one to at least acknowledge. Um, Akuma, who was tasked down below in the belly of the beast to keep all of the cargo crates in not necessarily in order, but in a safe like manner to not be thrown amongst the ship as the storm was raging on, which could have caused major issues like holes or the product itself being damaged, possibly ruining some of the supplies. She instantly had a rough go as boxes started to collapse upon her. She managed to break free the once, getting her mystic hand out to hold a good size of it until being hit by another sets of crates. That left her pinned and unfortunately started to bring water into the belly of the beast as a hole was created by a decent sized crate. She uh, kept trying to think of ways, but she tried to like move her mystical hand to remove some of the boxes, and then the hand picked up the box that was on her until it also got covered up with other boxes. Uh, Luckily, with her calling for help and Orissa listening, especially being in the dome, a lot more easier to hear people down below, she was able to come to the rescue to get Akuma out and somewhat secured the boxes and have I think it was the wall of fours kind of just laying flat on top of the hole just to keep it not spewing everywhere. So, where you guys are starting off is the waters is still very wavy. You guys are still feeling this giant rotation of just yourself um, as the boat is rocking back and forth. The rain itself is now to a slight drizzle, uh, and everybody is being ordered to go around and make sure everything is okay from top to bottom. As both Arissa and Akuma, who is at the bottom, trying to make sure a lot of the uh, crates are not just flying everywhere anymore. So,
Well, I also cast Fabricate to fix the hole, remember?
Yeah, I have it in the
The hole
notes.
has- the
okay,
hole has been
You
made.
started casting.
okay. So,
And I put the boxes back.
okay. So
I know.
it's still a mess down below, but it's not in a chaotic order as it was, and
Mhm.
uh, there is some water flowing from side to side, but it's it's kind of like barely an inch or two. Not much has gotten in. You guys were quickly able to stop it, but you know, water's there. Thanks to you, the hole is patched as well. As you guys are putting the boxes back up and all that, both of you go ahead and make a wisdom save.
Also, the server is like there's like a bucket floating and like getting water out.
See if these style just
Well,
whip
you
up
could
a
cast
bucket and just
Destroy
walk up
Water.
there, throw it, and then walk back
Yeah,
down.
it's like a bucket going up and down.
I was like, what did you want us to roll again? Was it
Wisdom
Yeah,
saving
both
throw.
of you make a wisdom saving throw. Okay.
Okay
16.
then.
Uh,
Very well.
as you guys are
Fine.
like Akuma, as like Arista's kind of like sitting near the hole trying to fabricate and like fix it, and you using your mystic hand to start putting some of the boxes and try to help tie it down and stuff like that. The box that contained the jewel kind of fell off on one of the crates as it must have been uh, tossed amongst the wreckage. It is not free. It's still in its case, pretty sturdy, but it's just the influence. You guys felt a little bit of anger, but you was able to kind of brush it off, knowing that this is not something that you're truly feeling.
I guess we probably should tether this to something so that this doesn't happen in the future. This thing can't move.
Probably a good idea.
Like chains or rope or something really strong so it can't move. Chain it to the wall or whatever works.
Hmm. Well, be my guest. I'm busy doing this shit.
Mm, I suppose I can attempt doing something. I guess I could look around for some chains or rope. I have rope, not chains
Uh,
though. So I
sure.
do have
Go ahead and make an investigation, as everything was like just tossed all over the place.
That's the wrong thing. Sorry,
Uh,
accidentally. Clicked
it's
something.
it's still
Never mind.
still sucks.
No, it's not.
um,
Oh, just use the
you
rope.
you're like looking around for rope, chains. You're
I
not
have
seeing any of that.
I have rope in my inventory. I just
Okay, yeah, you
thought
can.
I'd see if there's any extra. But
Uh, you knew that there is extra. You just don't know where. As it's probably lost amongst the wreckage of everything that happened. So you
uh,
pull out some rope.
take it back to where it belongs. Like if it's on top of something, just push it back.
Um, you kind of go as close as you can back up closer to the front of the ship, which is where you remember Marissa saying that she had placed it, and you kind of like trying to find like little areas to put it in and to try to tie it down in some way. Um, as that's happening up top, uh,
Kitsy.
first off, Zoe, uh, you think you got everything. You think you like looking around and just like, all right, I think I got it. Um, Tay and Alec. Tay, you are used to feeling like this uh, insanely wet, and Alex, so are you. It's just this is the slight weird taste, kind of like in your mouth, as some of the water has probably gotten into you from all the yelling and trying to aggressively pull these ropes tight to make sure that the cells will fine. Um, you can just fear, not fear, feel all of the clothing that you guys are wearing, or like Alec, all your fur. You can just feel like it feels a little bit extra weight. Um,
Oh, whatever.
but you're definitely just making sure everything is,
Eh,
in order. As uh, a couple of more minutes, if not probably somewhere between 30 to an hour, uh, of you all kind of checking on everything and seeing everything is fine. So you're kind of just riding this out a little bit. The waves seem to calm slightly. It's not as rocky, but you are on just the outskirts of the storm, as the rain itself is a slight drizzle. Um, it it seems as though you guys are coming into more of the sunsetting portion, so it is starting to get night. But be as it may, is there anything or someone wanting to do anything?
yeah.
It depends. So it's nighttime shift
Um,
or
it's
daytime?
it's like it's about to get to the nighttime shift part.
Mm.
It's in that sunsetish like moment.
Let's go back and talk to Arissa before the shift starts. 'Cause
Yeah,
she's about to
yeah.
go to sleep.
Go ahead.
Mm. So, about being buried under those boxes. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I probably should have called for help sooner. I'm not very.
Hmm. I mean, yeah. I think if I wasn't properly listening, I think you would have been
Killed by some
drowned.
boxes.
Killed by. I mean, that would be a fun way to go out, right? Pretty
Drown me
embarrassing.
under boxes? Yeah, no, I don't want that to be on my gravestone.
So you're
No, I
standing
don't.
in line there for like the shadow fell, whatever the fuck you go, and you're like standing in line there, and that some guys next to you's like, "Hey, how did you die?" "Yeah, I got mauled by a tiger." Other person's like, "Yeah, I got eaten by a shark," and you're like, "Yeah, I got some boxes on me and I drowned." It's pretty
I'm
embarrassing, right?
so pathetic. Oh, my life.
And then they look at you and you're like, "But you're a demon," and you're like, "Fuck, I'm a demon." Oh.
I'm a pretty pathetic demon. Anyway, my apologies for being so pathetic.
No, no, I'm not saying that. That's what you're saying. The only thing I'm saying is next time just ask for help if you need it. It's like
But
it's literally nothing more than that. It's like sometimes you need help. There's certain things I can't do, certain things you can't do. It's just ask for help. Easy as that.
I made sure to remember that next time. It's a kind of hard thing to get used to. Never really had asking for help beyond the list of things I was allowed to do.
I mean,
Yeah,
we've been traveling for months. I mean, I think it should have been pretty obvious now.
you'd think so.
It's time to open those eyes instead of keeping them closed and keep those ears open, okay?
Hmm? Hmm?
So that you actually pick up on what's happening. All right.
Aye, aye, ma'am. Damn it, now I'm starting to talk like a pirate. No! Oh, this ship.
At
Terrible.
ease, sailor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll just sit there and look at my servant clean rusty water out. You can go hang out.
It kind of got to the
Mm.
point where like he definitely could not scoop any more water, so it's like a sponge just soaks
You're just,
what he can and just goes squeeze it outside. It comes back with a sponge.
like like one of those little holes where it has the cans out of. Just goes to one of those and just that's the hole.
I just look at him and I'm like, idiot. Put the bucket. Take the sponge. Bring it into the bucket until the bucket is full. Then go up.
Uh, interesting enough, I know on the picture it is, but there is no cannons. It's like harpoons, arrows that are
Mm.
those.
The cannons are on the second deck.
Just keep in mind they're not actual cannons. I know on the picture it is. I can't find pictures
Oh,
that
it's
I want, but
harpoon.
there are harpoons.
Unlucky.
But anyways, as
It still should be tiny windows.
as some of you who's managed to remove like all of your armors, your like your wet clothings to add just little extras that was probably here and there. The day crew, if you guys are wanting to, you can start to go to sleep. And I believe the night crew, which was I think Alec, Zoe, and Akuma.
Yeah.
So if you guys have exhaustion, you have it.
Cool. Somewhere I marked that. Why is what? It still says I have level 2. I need to wait. Can I?
No,
Is that what that is? Right
you
there?
have level 2.
Level?
Yeah, you have level
Oh,
2.
oh, I still have level. I'm sorry. Still level 2.
So it is up to you guys if the second hand mate low, he said if you guys want to try to rest in shifts, as that was it seems that some of y'all took a decent beating, you can,
He has no idea.
but just maybe stay close by. But he seems as though coming out of the storm there probably shouldn't be too much of any issues. So it's up to you guys on what you would like to do.
I'll offer to do what I did last time and do repeated short rests and then gusts of wind onto the sails to give us a slight boost while we travel. If whoever's steering at night wants that.
He says probably not now, just because the way the waves are still are. Just in case, be best to just ride it out. So
Cool.
I just have to bring something to attention. Look at Leroy's cat.
Just passed out, upside down.
Crashed baby.
So for the night crew, if you are staying up because you guys went through a huge ordeal.
Malcolm was like, so I'm just gonna go sleep in the crow's nest, and if you need me, I'll be up there.
Yeah. If you're going to sleep and if you have exhaustion, you can remove 1. But if you are staying up, and again for the night crew, you will gain 1 exhaustion.
I'm removing 1
because you guys will be pushing an all-dayer. So who is sleeping and who is staying up?
Sleeping.
I approach Alec.
Okay.
Sleeping.
Hey, I know we've had some negative experiences in the past with certain damaging of each other, but do you happen to have the ability to restore someone's vigor? Greater restoration?
Alex,
like to
Alex
stop.
opens a like takes out a piece of paper, like handwritten, right?
Wait a minute. Was that for me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Sorry.
I'm sleeping. So
Can you
guess-
repeat the question?
Do you
I was very distracted by a cat.
Oh
You
my
know,
Mhm.
Alec likes cats.
do you have greater restoration? Was basically the question.
Maybe.
Maybe is the real question.
Trying to remember how many spells I have is a nightmare.
It
I'm just
sounds
gonna
like
say that.
It should be
I
in the list.
remember being a cleric.
That's why I didn't want to be a cleric.
same
You
here.
should try it. It's
No.
fun.
It is fun.
I'm alright. I'm okay.
Basically, I'm asking if you
yes,
prepared it
yes,
or
I
not.
do. I do
Yeah.
have greater restoration.
Would you mind sharing that with me?
Sharing it with you?
Like using it on me if you have the slot.
I don't know about that. It might cost you.
Cost me what?
Alec would like the end of all potatoes.
I like
You
it.
would have to insure it. And chocolate.
I can ensure that you'll experience the end of all potatoes.
Okay, okay. Alec's happy with this. He accepts.
Okay.
So
See.
yes,
Oh my
you
goodness.
can have a spicy greater restoration on you.
All right. So now I only have exhaustion after I stay up all night instead of 2, because that gets rid of this point.
Woo.
Very well. So, is there
Alright.
anything that you two wanting to do as the kind of like the night sky itself is the clouds itself is kind of a little bit scattered, and you can see the dots and the stars up above. The As you guys continue, the waves are still slowing to uh, a normal rhythm. Uh, Things seem to be getting on a quiet end after a rough day of uh, obviously at sea during this major storm. No, nothing. Cool.
Mhm.
So, as
They
the
made a blood pact to kill all potatoes or
as
destroy all potatoes.
as the next day comes around,
As soon as Alec goes to sleep, I'd like to cast a spell. I'd
Hold
like
up.
to stay up after Alec goes to sleep and cast a spell, DM Sama.
Oh no.
dispel
Because of a
what?
very particular wording. I'd like to cast Dream. And in the dream, I'd like to build a cityscape. I'm targeting Alec with this spell that I'm going to build a dream for Alec to experience where he's in a city. And no matter where he goes inside of this city, I can output the spell. Because you can build pretty much anything, right? You just design a dream for them to have. And you can be in that dream to communicate with them if you want. So I'd like to design this dream so that no matter where Alec goes inside of this random city, it's Moss Rest because I've been there a few times. I think that's the city Zoe's been to the most out of all the cities. Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
If not, then the capital's Zrudale. But just random city. No matter where Alec goes in this city, whoever she talks to, potatoes don't exist. If he talks to someone, sorry, like, hey, could I go buy a potato or whatever? The person has no idea what a potato is. And I have then given Alec the experience of potatoes no longer existing, as I promised.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
works. Just wait until he wakes up. Oh boy.
Well, we'll let that fizzle for a little bit. So, as
I
the
promised an experience. I didn't promise I would actually make it come true.
um as the day starts to come, which is the 8th, um, you
I can
guys
sleep all day. Oh boy. Sleeping
Uh,
and then sleeping on top of the sleeping.
you won't be able to sleep twice
Dang.
because this is, I mean, like, to think about it, you you slept, and then so it's kind of like you
Oh,
can't
it's
force yourself to sleep even more.
fair enough.
So
Oh,
you are at this current moment just a part of the day crew until you get that figured out.
That's fine.
So um, you wake up with pretty much everybody else uh, as Alec goes to bed, and then Zoe, who stealthily tries to come over and dream away.
I don't even have to be near Alec. I can go to the opposite side of the ship, cast it, and Alec in his slumber will have the stream.
Sure, of course.
I could be anywhere in the world as long as I'm on the same plane.
Well, I mean, yes, but at the same time, like all of your beds are like very close to each other,
Yeah.
so you kind of have to get close anyway, unless you don't want to go to sleep. But as the day comes, and you guys are kind of walking around, getting, you know, your sea legs up and going, and Captain Rand kind of looks at all of you. And, well, how was your first storm?
Pretty relaxed.
I hated it.
Yeah, it was fun. Was that supposed to be fun or no?
Well,
No.
it's definitely a lot easier if we had more people, but you definitely helped out quite a bit. I'm very
But
thankful and proud of you guys.
I forgot to say there was a hole in the boat, but I fixed it.
Yeah, it's fixed. It's fixed.
Well, then what hole
Where's
is
the
there?
Not no hole. It's gone.
See? You know,
Did you
I-
see the bucket going up and down?
I mean, I saw that, but I wasn't going to question it. I It's not necessarily the weirdest things I've seen, but
Well, what is the weirdest thing you've seen?
Yeah. Yes.
well, if you really must know, first off, go who was next on my list? You know what, Alec? Since you're sleeping, roll me a d8, please.
Having a wonderful dream.
While you're having a wonderful dream about mud stomping potatoes,
Or the lack of potatoes.
None
Yeah,
of
lack
our-
of potatoes.
Potato.
Can't mud stop something that doesn't exist.
Dry.
okay. Do it one more time, just out of SAOG. I'm curious.
Shit.
Uno ma.
Ooh.
Uno.
Okay, cool.
Uno,
Um,
dos, tres.
So, yeah, as he goes on to talk about some of the weirdest things he saw, which he's seen him before, but at the same time, they don't seem to always be in the same certain areas as these. He goes on to explain it's not mermaids, but they look very close. It's weird.
What's a mermaid?
It's kind of like I guess you could say they have like a half upper portion of like a human, like me, and then a lower portion of like a fish, like a tail. I've
Is it,
what
are
was
they all like that, or is there like ones that will have like upper fish, lower human?
well, I mean, rumors have it that there's all sorts of different kinds, but the ones I've seen, these were these almost seem something like out of nightmares. This is something that which I was hoping we wouldn't see, and thank goodness, that will pretty much attack and drag anybody down with them to add to either add to their life or to eat them, drowning them all the way down.
So, drowning or what? What was the other thing?
Adding.
A rumor had it that the thing I saw they might also like to bring people, like change them into what they are. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a rumor. That's just
Yeah.
something weird. But
Ah,
uh, let's try to have a relaxing day. Let's see what we have going on, and hopefully everything's behind us. And as you guys, you know, getting up top deck and looking around as the sun slowly starts to come up, uh, it is a nice, really sunny day. Uh, you're talking about you can maybe count however actually many clouds there are, as shows how little there is at this moment.
Does it look like a black front behind us?
It you can see in a good distance, especially with your goggles. More slight darkness behind you all.
this is
Uh,
great. The
She's gonna
sun.
she's gonna end up sunburned, and there's just gonna be goggle prints right there.
No, no, no. You see like how suddenly next to her like ka-chink, like an umbrella pops out. Much better.
but you,
I miss this thing.
as you guys are just kind of looking and enjoying the sun instead of the heavy rain. Oh well, I guess we're just riding it out now. Well,
Alright.
guys, if you want to do anything you want, just be close by. It doesn't seem like we're moving hardly anymore. As he kind of points up to the sails, and it's kind of flat as it's not blowing. And
Hmm.
the captain's just like, well, that's to be expected, I guess.
Uh, just give me a few minutes. Like I'm gonna go down below and grab all the fucking rope we have.
Okay.
Oh, bro.
Uh, then I'm gonna go and spend 10 minutes fabricating, uh, using the spell obviously. Imagine like sort of like a collar that could fit around an orca,
Ah, a harness.
a harness.
We
No, like
want
it
an
would sort of
orca?
it would sort of like snag on the what's it called, the fin on top, dorsal fin.
Yeah, the dorsal fin. Yeah, yeah.
So we sort of like stop there.
Okay. Go ahead and
Oh, me too. I want to
Yeah,
help.
I'm gonna make two. Yeah, I'm gonna make two because I know you can turn into a orca as well.
Fire.
see.
I mean, technically, if we want to go all in, we can make three. We can do three, right?
Oh yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
You can either make you can either make a nature check or a arcana check.
What? From you don't know.
This is just to see how good it really is.
Maybe it keeps slipping off repeatedly, or
Because you will have to. You're trying to go
is
off of a.
uncomfortable.
Nice,
22.
arcana.
Okay.
That's a good arcana.
You're trying to go off of
The one time I was a killer whale myself.
Yeah, you're just trying to go off of what you think of the
Then.
size that you have and how much rope, and I'll say you'd probably have to be using a lot of rope.
Yeah, that's a given.
I'll say you can at max do two.
Then we'll do two.
Let's just go then. I'm ready to get off the boat. Anything but the boat.
So, but I think that's easy enough. But you pretty much have used all of the rope besides the ones that are being used.
Yeah, we can. I can make it. I can turn it back later.
No more boat. No more.
So,
Well, guys, who wants to put? Well, we're gonna turn into killer whales, orcas, whatever you want to call them, and we're gonna forcibly drag the boat. So just fasten the ends of rope to I don't know. What's a good point?
The front of the boat. Wait a the mast, right? Is that what it's called?
No.
Or the
Do not tie it to the mast. He goes and kind of like tries to loop around some of the closer front end of the boat as pretty much on both sides, since there's going to be two of you guys. Here's a question:
Yes.
how are you going to get it on?
Yeah, that's a good question, right?
Maybe
You
okay.
swim
How
out
about
to the orca and saddle him up.
Yes. Just that will work.
Wait,
I
who?
guess I could do that.
I said
Me.
Tay can, right?
Yeah, just bring a Tay. Just bring a Tay. She can hold on. Just crawl up. She can crawl back up the rope. You know?
Does Tay know how to swim?
Should I roll for that?
I'm going to say no, as Tay hasn't been around that much water, if hardly at
Tay's a
all.
goblin, lives in the woods all day, right? Caves and woods.
So
I can always
Uh,
jump.
Mina, how
But-
about you turn Tay into an orchid and then I'll put it on you guys.
Sure, that works.
wait,
We're
how
gonna
do you?
Mhm.
float.
What do you do? Do you just
Swim.
Swim forward.
what's that?
You
You just-
as an orc as the creature, you will naturally know what it means. It's like your
Maybe-
only way of moving
Captain
at that
Rin,
point.
Follow my
Captain
lead.
Rin kind of comes up to you guys as you're having this conversation, and he's like, just when you guys were ready, and he kind of like he asks, so who's doing this pulling expedition?
And
These
her.
two.
Okay. He kind of points to like kind of like the site left of the boat, of closer up front, and he's like, that's the direction we're going to be needing to go. All right. So first off, when you start to pull, start easy, right? If you just instantly go, you have a chance of just either capsizing the boat or just ripping the front part off entirely.
Perfect.
I don't exactly know how strong a whale could be against a boat, but I would rather think it would destroy it. So, please, start off easy. Once you get it kind of pulling and once you get it going, then you can pick it up a little bit. Alright?
Cool. Gotcha.
Alright.
Alright. Now,
I mean, it's probably better for me to stay up as well for a reason because I can actually communicate with you people.
True. That is true.
fantastic.
Should we have it
but
tied
yeah.
around our waist or
And
wait?
he,
No,
No,
that
you're gonna have it
wouldn't
up front.
he kind of goes back to the wheel and he's just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, you two just go jump in the water and we'll turn into killer whales, I
Jump
suppose.
boat. Cannonball! Rolls or some dual ball. Sploosh.
As I'll say I'll
I-
probably say,
I'm waiting.
uh,
I'm waiting.
Come on in. Say. I'll catch you.
Okay, if I die from water, this is gonna be the worst thing.
No, it's fine. I'll just
Okay.
turn you into an orca before you hit the water. It's magic
Wait, then how are you gonna catch me?
Well, you're gonna have to turn yourself into an orc at that point as well.
Indeed.
So it's just going to be an orca landing on top of another orca that's already in the water.
so I'll say
Yes.
this about as both of you who had transformed into your whales.
Fuck.
I'll give it like somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes of
Also
putting
extend
this
that. I can extend it.
putting this onto them. I'll say Akuma is probably maybe the easiest. She's been able to polymorph into other things, so it's just the thing in her mind. She's able to kind of get the already understanding of how things work. As Tate's,
Mm.
she does know how to do things. It's just the weird feeling at first. Uh, but sure enough, you got it on there, and you guys uh, start pulling, and instead of being a dig, I'll just say you guys did start off slow.
Yeah, we're not just booking it, even though
Uh,
it kind of
Rips the ropes through the railing of the ship.
but as
everything just falls apart.
Zoe gets somersaulted through.
Arissa,
Lands
as
into the
you're
bottom of the ocean.
standing on the front end, and as they start to pull, you can they do start off very nice and easy, and so you can feel the slight tug of the boat as it's starting to turn into the direction that the captain was pointing. Um, and then over the course, they do try to pick up their speed as fast as they can go.
Mm.
Uh, how long can you guys keep this up?
That's a good question.
Let's see, 99th level sorcerer, -4, +1, 6 hours.
Okay.
Is that with the extend or without the extend?
With extending and everything. And then then he couldn't and then we could extend it by another 4 hours, but that would require me to cast it as well on Tay and you on yourself, and then having to redo the first time with the orc as putting the thing on you. So technically we could do probably what, 7.5
You have to
hours
cut
ish.
an hour because it's
Yeah,
30
exactly.
minutes to do the harnesses.
So 7 hours we could do it if we do everything. Almost everything, because I can do technically another time. Or I could technically do 2 more times, sorry. Because I can rest to get another spell slot back.
So 6 hours
But that would
total.
only add on 1 more hour.
So are you guys doing
Yeah,
Well, it'd
six
be
just-
8 hours minus 1 hour, I think.
For the process.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
7 hours of orca power. How much orca power does your ship have? 2 orca
2.
power?
not too bad.
It's like horsepower, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
better.
Orca power.
Like,
Steam
is there
power.
like, when normally parties they have like a wagon with horses, right? We have a boat with orcas. It's like the level up version.
Yeah, so cooler.
As the pretty much you guys got this going for a good distance, um, which you know I'll say it's getting to the point of your spells ending, and so you guys coming back on the boat, uh, and it kind of continues a little bit, but the speed does slowly reduce. But nevertheless, you guys made great progress. So good job. Captain,
Hey.
he's, well, at least I can now say I've been pulled by a whale.
Yeah.
You guys are all right.
Sometimes.
So let me ask you, are you guys needing like us to stick around, or what is the plans? According to my map, and we might be able to make it at the. We either might be there near the end of the next day, pretty late, or early, 2 days from now, extremely early. It's somewhere in that middle zone, but just trying to get a general idea of what the plan is.
Well, as far as I'm aware, that land is not the most hospitable or friendly towards outsiders.
Uh,
Not sure.
I mean, if you're talking about the boat landing,
I mean, wasn't there like this warlord going around taking names and kicking ass?
I mean, I, to be fair, I haven't done much traveling closer to this area. I'm more of the, I guess, closer to a military strategist as you can think of.
Okay.
But I've heard that there was some warlord over here, but I haven't heard that they're bad. I guess it depends if you piss them off or not. Probably. I haven't heard anything too much. We have at least one or two of our shipments do come from Mythand, which is not necessarily too far from Barson, but from where we're landing, it definitely is pretty good far. Mythand seems to be all right. It's where we kind of hear a lot of our information. Uh, they tell us to, if we do head to like Earth Scar, or I think the other one is Dim Harbor, yeah, it to be careful and to not step on any toes. And unless uh, unless we're wanting to do business on land, it'd be best to just stay on the boat and possibly at the docks, and that's as about far as we go.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I mean, I think it would be a bit cocky to say that you can just go back, but I mean, if that port works fine for you, you can like sort of drop us off and we, fly off into the distance and you guys go to that port. And if we don't need you, I'll let you know, magically, and you can just go home, or you can wait until and then we meet up in the safe port.
sure. Like I said, I was told by I have his name. No, I don't. I was told by a friend of mine, the the poor issue with Earthscar seems to be heavily non-existent. Uh,
Huh.
Something about it's too rocky over terrain or something like that to really dock any boats. But they do have some sort of system to either get supplies or people. Something I don't exactly know what they do, but it just again will be the first time of me getting into this area. But I mean, we can hang out in the bay for a good while, seeing how it's uh, kind of slightly engulfed. Shouldn't receive hardly much of probably any storm, so we should be fine. I don't exactly know what we'll expect, so if we receive hospitality, we'll give hospitality and sit a little bit. But
I mean, it's up to you. If you feel unsafe, you just go to the safe port and stay there.
um,
Like
it
we are flexible in that sense.
okay, that we can try to work something out. I do hate to ask, uh, and I hope, and if you can't, that's fine. If we do receive, Fair Harbor, you wouldn't happen to maybe buy us some supplies, would you?
Marissa just throws him 100 gold. Here you go.
No, this should do fine. Thank you very much. And again,
Well,
I know the traveling was free. We kind of gathered whatever kind of resources we had, but we're already slightly limited. And
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, I understand your part of the situation, like your part. Like us getting this for free is already too much. So I think this is a fair compensation.
well, thank you very much. Truly, it means a good amount to all of us. So, but
Don't spend it all in one place.
oh, trust me, I probably will have to. But you guys go get some rest. It seems as though, well, hopefully the wind will start picking up soon, but it seems it's pretty calm. Kind of looks around. I haven't really seen much of anything, so please go ahead and get some sort of rest.
Okay.
Uh, and why don't we go ahead and take a break real quick? Just a quick break.
Okay.
So, if anybody needs drinks, water, please go get it. But we'll be right back. So. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you grabbed your water, your snacks, because I did.
Oh, or maybe they paused the video.
You know, if you
Yeah.
paused the video and did that too, I don't blame you. I wish I could pause the video and just do that.
That would
Or
be
you got
nice.
hit with that.
Here.
You
Let me
paused it, and
pause
then you
it.
came back, and then you came back, and you got hit with that 15-second ad.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh,
Oh
you shouldn't have
no. Unless you
paused.
have ad block. You should have put the ad block on.
Or just
Should've
pay
done
for YouTube Red.
But
Ha!
so as we come back into this, as the newly adjusted daytime crew, if you guys are going to sleep, if you have any exhaustion, you may throw that 1 point out the window.
Yes, it's going bye bye. Exhaustion. Haha. Screw you.
And now Akuma's at 0.
For
No
the
exhaustion.
nighttime crew, if you haven't already, you could have removed 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay.
As you guys are being woken up and just kind of coming to the fact that they mention how they've had, in a sense, dead wind, as just means that there's no wind to push the boat. But thanks to your friends, a couple of whales managed to pull the boat in a good fashion and still create some sort of distance for you all. Is there anything the night crew is wanting to do?
I'll offer to try to do the wind thing, but it can only be 2 minutes every hour, so I don't know if that's gonna be that great of a help. I could try to figure something out with wind wall because it lasts longer, but I don't think. Nope, it's still also just 1 minute, so it'd be better to just use gust of wind.
I mean, you can. It's not hard to try, but being at a dead wind to instant wind, I mean, chance you could blow the sails, or chance it could barely move. It's a lot easier if we already had wind going that generated more. It's kind of like, uh, I guess it's kind of hard to explain it. Just being at a stop motion and then instantly running could hurt if you're not, already prepared, if you're not already jogging. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you could try, but,
I wish I had something stronger like control weather, but
I mean, we're not too far as, you can't really tell, but he kind of points off, and it's just like, you can see a little bit of the island slightly to the right of the boat. That just kind of means we're getting close. We're almost to the I don't know how you would call it. I don't know how you would call it. Like bottleneck of the area, especially where you guys said you wanted to go. So,
the inlet.
but it seems like at the moment it's just a relaxing time. If you want to just walk amongst yourselves or play cock, I think I'll just be up here making sure everything seems to be in order.
I might do some cards if anyone else is up for it.
I'll
How about you, Alec? Did you have any interesting experience?
I had a pretty fantastic dream.
Would you like to have any more fantastic dreams?
Alex seems like a little bit suspicious, and he's like a bit concerned about your suggestive tone. And he's like, "Wait, did you do this? You did this?"
Yes.
I mean, you can make an insight unless he's just gonna come out.
I'll say yes, but he
God.
can still make an insight whether or not he believes I made the dream.
all right, yeah, we'll do that.
I'll say there's probably like one of the crewmates who's kind of like bored a little bit, and he kind of already pulls out a deck of cards and he's like, "Yeah, I'll play." You just being within a couple of days, probably like a week or so with this group, they've been somewhat capable of a lot of things. It almost wouldn't be surprised if they could also control dreams. Like, why? What can't these people do? Not hurt each
Well,
other. That's the question. Well, that's the answer, but
Alex fine with having one of those dreams every single night.
What would I get in exchange to give you such dreams every single night?
You're alive, aren't you?
no.
True. I was alive before you joined the party.
And how
A
long would you
whole
be alive?
millennia.
Oh. How about another millennia?
I don't think you have the power for a whole nother millennia.
Alex, like, mildly offended.
As you guys pretty much have your night at ease, and this time the clouds themselves are not even there. As you can definitely see all of the stars, some slightly brighter than others. Uh, the just the calmness of the seas, it slowly rocks back and forth. It is also quite alluring to just slumber back to sleep. But you've already slept a long time. You're not even tired. But it's very alluring. I think for our last bit, just out of curiosity, Zoe, roll me a d8.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm assuming it's bad, but
This is bad.
Out of
Hope that it's bad.
curiosity, do another one.
I'm assuming the next one will be even worse. Oh,
The same. What?
So, as kind of throughout your guys' night, the wind slowly picks back up, but again at a snail's pace. But pretty much near the end of your guys' shift, you do manage to have some sort of wind as it's starting to push again. Um, as you guys start to trade places with the daytime crew. Um, it
before we go to sleep, I'd like to build Alec a dream where this time, instead of being in a city where potatoes don't exist, Alec's now in an infinite potato field, just completely surrounded by potatoes. And for every potato Alec touches, Alec takes 1 point of psychic damage.
Oh, for the love of God.
Because you can
How many
also build
potatoes?
nightmares.
Oh no.
You can make it deal damage. If it's
Oh
gonna
no,
deal the whole damage
I
of
know,
like,
I know you can.
yeah.
I know you can.
I don't want to kill
God
Alec with
damn
this,
it.
basically.
It
If
Uh,
it's
depends on
For
how
gonna
many.
kill
dreams,
Alex,
not for
I'd rather
hell.
not do the damage. But every time she touches a potato, he touches a potato, it still hurts to touch.
okay. Alec, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Alright, one sec.
And I can try this multiple times a night, so if Alec doesn't look restless, I'll try it again.
Are you staying up the entire day?
I'll stay up for an hour. That's below my DC, I believe. I have a DC of 16.
Okay. So,
God damn it.
go ahead and roll 3d6. So,
10 damage.
alright. So,
God damn
Alec, your war on potatoes has gone south. While you feel as though the first dream you kind of had was like, okay, this is like the world that everybody needs to live in, the world without potatoes. But then in this dream, it everything's changed as the the clouds themselves. What start off like a pretty day, and you're walking what seems to be like some sort of farm, and you're like, what all of this, and you only see like these uh uh vegetables that are in the ground, and you're just like, you're not seeing anybody. You probably walk a good distance, still not seeing anybody. You eventually do decide to pull one up, and you see it's a potato, and just the rage instantly fuels you. But you start looking around, and you start pulling more and more, and you realize that this might be an entire potato farm. And so you start hammering away and hammering it away. And as you do, you're not paying attention as the clouds themselves get this darkish gray color with a little black tint to it, as it just starts to storm potatoes, just pelting you left and right. This nightmare is almost engulfing you as you take 10 points of psychic damage from raining potatoes. Um,
Oh, I'm sitting all now.
This only makes my war on potatoes much more significant.
and it, if this happens again, I got something, but I didn't want to use it for this one. Uh,
Alex gonna be enraged when he wakes up.
Oh no, Mad
um,
Kitty!
Fucking
Mad Kitty!
potatoes.
so as that's happening, for the daytime crew, as you guys are starting to continue your journey across, getting closer and closer, as with Arissa, if you're like using your goggles, you can actually start to see like the landmass, and so you're getting closer. Um, where is everybody at the moment? Where would you think you'd be?
Probably on the crow's nest still, because she's enjoying the view and not furthest from the boat, you know? Why not? It's fun up there.
Probably just lounging on the steering house, I suppose.
Oh man, you guys took my 2 spots I wanted to be at.
I mean, you can still be there. It doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're still on the
No,
go in your
no,
place.
no, too late. Different spot. I'm gonna lay on. Oh, lay on. I guess. Can I see if I can? I wanna.
That's the dog.
Is there like a little like point like on the end of the front end of the ship? That
Um,
little point.
there is. I would say this. What there is, there's just a little. It's not really enough for you to go and like lay on. It's kind of more, think of not like full on Viking, but it has just like the front, just slightly up a little bit. So it's not like something you to go lay on. It's just more of a frontal guard.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna. I'll sit down and or yeah, I'll sit down right in front of it or whatever, or just sit on the edge basically.
Okay. Um. So for Arissa and Tate, like, would you guys be just relaxing, or would you be like also just looking out, like enjoying the view, or just kind of like sun tanning?
I'm pale as I'm very pale. I don't think it's gonna help me.
Or should we be
So
pretending to be tanning, but it really is he's just looking out.
probably look.
Because yeah, she has like the goggles, right? So you can't see if her eyes are closed or not. So she's just like looking, but pretending to not be looking.
Okay. All three of you then go ahead and make perception checks for me. And I think Arissa, you get advantage, right?
Yeah, advantage on my 0 roll.
Yep,
Hey, it's
0.
okay.
18.
Okay.
I love how your dog is so sneaky.
Mine? Yeah.
I'm watching all of you. Just remember this. You stay there, and I'll stay here.
One that you
Soon,
had both.
master. Soon,
Yeah.
master. I will kill them.
You had 2 dogs on either side on one of the videos. It was fun.
I saw them beat the child.
Orissa, you're definitely more kind of looking forward a little bit, just watching as the landmass slowly gets bigger. Akuma, you can see kind of like the faded outline of something, kind of like think of like a mountain, extremely far type deal. So you can see like a, it's faded outline of what the landmass is. So you're kind of just more pay attentioning that way as well. Day, you're looking around, and Tay, you notice kind of like a black dot from the left of you guys at a slight angle, kind of coming this way.
Hey, what's that right over there? To the left? Nobody?
One of the
Yeah.
crewmates goes, "Oh, what's to the port?"
The
It's just
port
like
side?
casually looks over to the left.
Looks over like,
Huh?
Where?
Um,
Where is he?
that's
I was
Captain.
waiting for the cat.
you,
Captain.
Arissa. As you're looking with your goggles, I'll say with Akuma, you still can't see it. But where did it go? I organized this, and it still isn't. Oh, I know where it is. Arissa, you start to see of it looks like a humanoid, but with wings. You can see like the scaliness of like the scales that are kind of like protruding parts on its body, um, and you can see a decent amount as it doesn't look angry, but it just you're not quite sure what it looks. But the one thing that it just gets to you the most is its color, as it is a nice golden color reflecting of the sun
Oh,
heading in
crap.
your guys' direction.
Yeah, I already knew the moment you started describing what it was. It's like you can't see my face, but my face was instant recognition of like I know what who this motherfucker is.
Great.
Do I get a good idea of who it is, too?
No, only she does because of the fact she has the goggles that can see. And because you pointed it out, you just saw something that did not look like it belonged in the sky. Think of kind of like something almost reflecting the sun a little bit. So it's like it kind of drew your attention, which is the way Orissa was not looking, and you threw her attention in that direction, and with her goggles that she can see incredibly far, was able to actually see the entire outlook of that. So,
Is it singing my way as it heads towards us?
it does appear to be mouthing something, but you're not quite sure.
I'll just send it. I'll send a message to him with sending. I'll be like, hey buddy, I see you coming our way. We're familiar, I suppose, but what's your intention?
You get a reply.
Also, I see you talking.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
You get a reply. Just to come have a little chat. I want to officially see you all with my own eyes.
Or just looks at it. Okay.
And
Hey Akuma, your brother's coming.
What? Oh. Well, hopefully this goes well.
Maybe not. Captain, best to stay out of this. This is potentially fucked up. Not sure yet.
Stay out of what?
Points at the thing flying. That thing.
Yeah, shows, I guess you could say.
We're like almost there. Is there any way that this could not happen today?
I should say.
I mean, Arisa looks up like at the other side of the boat to the sky. I mean, unless something up there decides no, we're pretty much fucked.
Well,
Yeah,
look,
he just apparently wants
just-
to talk to us specifically.
well, just don't let it destroy the boat or me, because I still need to be driving.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
what?
no, that's like the. If it comes to fighting, I think the main intention is to just get away from the boat and just fight somewhere else.
Yep.
Hey, he kind of just like looks around. And he's like, "Okay, yeah, you tell me where, and I'll make sure to stay away from where."
Yeah, but I mean, if he, I mean, it's like I have a hard head in it, but I think he's here to talk or to gloat, whatever.
No.
I don't know.
Let's hope that's all. And he's already kind of shouting commands of like, hi, we got a nice, lovely situation for guys, and kind of like within a minute or two, like the other crew that are kind of start to come up, and he's telling them to be ready for anything. Um,
What?
there he told them to kind of like be in state like a hiding staging position, and if push comes to shove, they will like quickly try to jump on the harpoons, turn and fire. But it's one of those things of they're going to try to protect their boat as much as possible.
Yeah, understandable.
Um, so as uh, within a few minutes, all of you can start to see closer and closer as he gets, and you can now start to definitely see of his golden like scale colors, um, with a
Is
little
he
bit of
still mounting? Is he mounting the entire way?
um because the fact that you said you could see him, it's kind of like he's mumbling. But he
Gotta
gets
talk
I'm,
her.
gra-
he
I'm grabbing my axe.
he starts to get pretty much a lot closer to you guys. And what are your guys' like? Are you staying in your same position? Are you like prepping for something? What are you guys
Hmm.
doing?
I think I would have
Uh,
just moved. I would have moved my chair away from the captain and just on the main deck and just like plop it out
Should
there
I
and just sit
come
in
down
there.
from here? Should I be where
Probably.
you are? Okay, I'm coming down.
Just don't be hostile because I don't want to make this a
No, it's
tense thing
fine.
from the start.
so should I bring my axe with me or no?
Maybe just,
I mean,
maybe just,
bring it with
maybe
Alright, I'll
you.
bring it
Just
with.
don't have it in your, just don't have it in your hand.
Okay.
No worries. I don't feel violent or anything.
I mean, if you
Nervous.
don't, but he might.
Not. I'm not ready to now. Dad and now, brother. This is just not. Oh,
Okay.
I must be this way.
As you guys are kind of like migrated your way to the main part of the deck, which if you guys wanted to, they could have moved the rowboat up to really use, not too much of a factor.
Doesn't
But
matter.
um,
What the
he, as he gets a lot closer and closer, uh, you can now see as he is uh, locked eyes with all of you and has slowly descended, stepping almost like a couple of feet in front of you as he just lands and just looks at all of you. And he hasn't, within like 20 to 30 seconds so far, he hasn't said anything as he's
Your
almost like
son.
he's sizing all of you up.
I look at him. You're like talking all the way when you're flying. It's like, why stop now?
Because I didn't have anybody to talk to before.
So when you meet people, you stop talking.
Let's just say
looks looks at Akuma. Runs in the family.
I have my way of doing things.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
And that is what?
we've experienced some of that, first hand and second hand.
Well, first off, I wanted to actually see you all in person. I have memories of all of you. Not of mine, someone else's. And I wanted to see you all for myself. A part of me is matches up to what I see. Some, not so much. Hmm. Where are you guys heading to?
Oh, we're just putting an item back where it should be. Where we're going exactly, we don't know.
It's like a vacation.
Is this said
Uh,
item something close by?
I
Presumably?
mean, I mean, you can bullshit me if you can't that you can't sense it, but I mean, I know you can.
Just curious, that's all.
I mean, I have nothing to hide here, so
Indeed, and trust me when we say you definitely don't want anything to do with it. Such a pain in the ass, this item.
From what I know, it's not necessarily something I would rather deal with,
no, it
nor
seems
is
to
something that I really
change.
rather care.
Nah, it changes things from what I've seen. Grants desires, but not exactly in the way you want it to.
I've already got my desired accomplished, as he kind of looks at his hand a little bit. I got what I was made to do. Now then, I guess for the more reason of why I'm here, and he kind of looks at Akuma and then slide over to look at Tay. You two are a threat to humanity.
Say what?
It'd be unwise of me if I was to just leave you be.
So let me guess, you came here to kill me now? Oh, why? Why is it like this? I
Yes,
can't help what I am. And not to mention, I'm trying to do good. Is that not better? Probably not.
you've
I think
tried,
you're the
but
right.
from what I understand, you've chosen a different path. And a path that could lead to innocent people dying by your hands, from what I understand correctly. And then kind of slides over to Tay. And I heard a couple of stories from you.
Should I
So,
even ask if they're good or not?
how do you two want to do this? As he kind of looks in the middle towards Arissa. You, well, yes, you also have potential to be a threat. You first off allowed somebody who destroyed this entire kingdom, you brought them back. As they slaughtered countless of people. But, at the same time, in judgment calls, not that you knew. And I guess in favor for all of you, you did manage to send her away, or beat her, but not to kill. Which
I mean,
leads
we would
Tried.
have killed her if not for divine intervention.
Yeah. That's how my Exodus just would have killed her.
Indeed, we were very close
I mean,
to
she was dead, but then her god decided to resurrect her and give her powers beyond mortals.
which just shows that there's still a threat looming.
Well, definitely bigger than any of us.
Several ones.
But you two
Yeah.
are immediate and easily to take care of.
Ah, so you're gonna kill your very own sister? Wow, that's a
Yes,
shame.
I'm aware that we share the same blood.
And not to mention, you probably wouldn't exist with, well, at least somewhat of what I did.
I mean, do we have to do this now? I can still need them to do this shit.
Indeed, why don't you just kill me later when I'm useless?
I mean, if you want to, I can send you a message to come kill him if you really want to. I mean, I kind of still need them to do all this crap.
I'm still sort of valuable, therefore it would be a waste to just kill me now.
I mean, Don't
Make
get me wrong.
make
Yeah,
a persuasion check, Arissa.
sure.
Oh,
Natural 20,
nice
26.
persuasion. Oh yeah. Thank God for the dice gods are on our side today.
So you, Arissa, are taking ownership of these two.
Yeah. I have been sort of doing that. Trying to. Although there was a period of time where I wasn't there and then shit went down.
Yeah. That was a time.
And if you look in your memories, because I think I know what memories you're looking into, you could see that I tried to stop what happened through that.
What are you pointing at when you say that?
at the Kuma.
You.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
At some point, you all will be a threat to people. As a matter of fact, it would be extremely easier to, and he kind of just like slowly puts his hand like towards the bone. It'd be so much easier to just sink you all right now. But, and he kind of gestures his hand like towards the captain, who's just like eyes wide open. He's like, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't.
Mm.
There are innocent people who have done nothing wrong and don't deserve this.
Yeah,
Oh.
correct.
If I catch one word that these two have caused any sort of trouble, I will be back, and you will be added to the list.
Lovely. Well, if you're gonna kill me, make it quick, cause I really don't.
Well, it's great.
You know what? I really don't care.
It it was great to meet you. Hope your flight back is a good talk to yourself.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you, brother. Only family member I have left now.
Oh,
Thanks for
I'll,
not killing me today.
I'll still be around. Don't
Yeah,
worry. I won't be too far.
kind of figured.
Isn't there like a million other threats to deal with? I mean, our list is like massive.
Indeed, you're not the only one with a list. Lists.
I am going off of something that I deemed slightly personal. Sister, thought I would deal with you first at the top of my list.
That's sweet of you.
Why am I on the list too then? I haven't killed anyone.
You have countlessly have told somebody about a farmer and his arm getting cut off.
See.
I mean, it's attached to again.
Right.
A little crooked.
Yeah, not to
And
mention the other things.
He kind of leans down a little bit, and last time I checked, your kind wasn't this color. I can tell something's affecting you. So, it doesn't look like it's the good kind. Kind of leans back up a little bit.
I'm sorry, I'm not shiny gold like you.
Yeah, I mean, if you know more information about all this kind of stuff, why not try helping us instead of killing us?
Think he knows what Ace knows.
Probably.
Or knew.
That would be correct.
Yeah. So, talking about Ace now, you do then know that that wizard that was like Lily's accomplice, right? Or ally, that his life was keeping him locked up into that tower. That guy's gonna be a problem. For sure.
Oh, I'm aware. And I am also currently tracking him. But again, I put some people on the priority
Just out of
list.
just out of morbid curiosity, what is he doing right now?
What's he doing?
The wizard.
Oh, what's he doing right now?
Or where he is. I mean, just out of curiosity, I think it's interesting.
Not that I can actually see what he's doing right now. I've picked up on his tracks. He's running for sure. Not quite sure where he thinks he's going. But I thought I'd give out a little bit, make it interesting. Give out this new form, a little bit more of a workout, but I thought I'd be getting it here. What a shame.
Oh well, maybe soon. Who knows? I mean, if they ever go out of line and I can't control them, well, I know who to call, right?
Indeed. Will
I
that
will
be
be
a great
close.
reunion?
Well,
I mean, it
thank.
was nice talking to you. I mean, it's a bit of a shame Ace is gone, but at the same time, I mean, I see you take your task very seriously, and I can only respect that.
Indeed, this world would actually maybe be a little better with you around. Even
I
if I'm
res-
gonna be the one that's gonna die eventually by you, probably. Or by myself. You know what? I almost died last night, so I mean,
Oh no.
almost didn't need to come.
I'll
Oh,
make sure it ends the correct way.
cool.
I was created to keep humanity safe. And right now, all of you, in my eyes, are a threat. The more powerful you can become, the less that these people can even defend themselves against. So as he slowly starts to kind of like hover a little bit, as he's slowly just taking off, as kind of like this wings, and it's not even flapping, it's just like two wings kind of pop out, just almost like it's allowing him to fly. He just kind of looks at Arissa, and soon you will be on that list. And
I
just
look forward to it.
starts to jet off.
Hey! Oh, I'm so dead.
Yeah, you're pretty dead.
Yeah,
You're pretty.
your
You're
brother's
pretty.
pretty
You're.
terrible.
I mean, I think Tay has like some redemption quality, right? To like the point of like if they manage to like unblack, you know, like get back on the good track, right? But I think you're
I
pretty
wouldn't
fucked.
say I was ever being able to do that. Not fully, anyways, to my thoughts, anyway.
Like be like a golden version of you, like gold, like literal gold. Are we like?
Or so like
Is it
lifts her hair like that's up front, like across the front of her head, and like wipes like sweat off. Oh fuck!
that
I mean,
I
that was
was keeping up.
that was a good roll.
I can't
Oh
do that.
fuck! Oh
An
fuck, guys!
important role.
Marissa,
But
why do you keep
you
saving my ass?
you
You're just
delayed it.
running.
That's all.
What
Yeah,
we
You're
I
just
just
did
know.
the
delaying the
inevitable.
inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, I was more like the thing is like the reason why I delayed is because I was worried about him fucking up the boat and taking the rest of us with him, and I didn't want that.
So,
Hmm.
uh, as he
I
kind
just
of
look up to
takes,
the captain.
like he's kind of like as he starts to fly away, and all of you are catching your breath, and you can start to feel like the pressure just slowly ease. Um, if any of you three want to make an insight check, you can.
Sure, why
Uh,
not?
sure?
but you can
Sure, why
definitely
not?
like feel the
14. I don't feel it.
the pressure as it's leaving. Um, Tay, you were more like head focused and more of a combat scenario. You couldn't tell if he was about to go or not. Uh,
Uh,
Akuma,
I was ready.
you just feeling the presence that he was close by. Uh, it definitely felt different than before. When he was probably more of that monstrous beast. Um, this this almost has a more calming, but at the same time of tension to it, and so you were trying to definitely overcome that. Arissa, dealing with both the sphere or the orb, as I might say, and the staff, there's a little bit of hint just engulfed in him. Um, because of what you saw, what happened to the orb, and with the staff missing, uh, and with your intelligence, he's probably has part of their power in him, being created from the power of the orb, and when he was in the north with you guys fighting the Frost Maiden, who was powered by the staff itself, as he managed to siphon off energy from her. Uh, he feels, and you feel the little bit of tension from that as he has this slight aura from those two different artifacts within him as
Oh,
he
good. He doesn't have us.
uh, starts to head off. But
Uh,
nevertheless, you guys continue sailing
was
as
was anybody else getting blinded by his reflectiveness from his gold?
No, not
I had
really.
to like
Very shiny
like
and very proud of it.
I mean, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, right?
Yeah, I suppose you're not wrong.
I mean, at least he recognizes that I'm gonna be a threat eventually. That's something, right?
you
Yeah,
seem proud
you're gonna
about
be on the
that.
list with us. Oh, I
I
feel
mean,
like
it's
it's
pretty
very
fun.
special being at the top of the list like that. I must be his biggest threat. Wow.
I think that's also has to do with personal. I think Ace was really scared.
Relationship.
I mean,
Yeah, it could be with that, trying to clean up his own messes, as I am a
Makes
part
me
of
feel
why
pretty
he
good
is
that I
so.
was number 2.
yeah.
I
I
did
mean, I
help.
really
1 and 2.
you think I'd be lower on the list since I was a good like good like nurse person to Ace.
But what about
No,
you were
no,
number 2 because
that's
of the way you
crazy.
annoyed Ace? Like he feels the annoyance that Ace felt towards you. He feels
it,
that as well. So
as
it's what?
Goro was like standing there like staring at Yute for like a little bit, all he gets is these flashbacks of some uh this like almost undead looking goblin like, here comes the choo 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 choo, like just force feeding this guy, and he's just like, you're like in his mind, your rating of terror that you could do is probably low. Your annoyance of him having to remember all of this stuff ranks it pretty freaking high. And why not? Two birds with one stone.
Hmm. That
It's
makes
like
sense.
Akuma's the one on the list of like threat. They is like 10th on the list of threat, but first on the list of annoyance.
Yes, that's. I think that is quite accurate.
That's
So,
about right.
um, nevertheless, why don't we go ahead and
So I just look up at the captains, like, how many bricks did you shit?
change it? Um, he's like, I've came close to death a good bit, but that's a very good one to have avoid.
He's
Thank
not
you.
Yeah.
gonna kill
As he's
you.
like, just
You're
yeah.
innocent, bruh. He doesn't want you dead. Trust
No,
me.
and I also don't. I mean, it's like how they call it, a stay of execution, but at the same time, better than nothing.
Well, this is new.
So
Now,
you
Well, he's
guys,
gonna be a threat. We're gonna have to deal with him. I have some really outlandish ideas to deal with him, but we'll
perfect. We'll go
see.
over those later. Be great to not
No,
die behind
I
treasure.
think I won't go over those at any point soon because they're incredibly specific.
Cool. Well,
And we
at least
first have
I
to deal.
didn't.
And we first have to survive that thing. As he points down at an angle in the deck towards the.
Hey, you know, just another thing to add to my list of things that probably want me dead. Great.
I mean, that list is probably as long as our list of things to do.
Probably. Probably.
oh,
Probably
Yeah.
things I don't even know that want to kill me. Uh,
uh,
oh,
Mm.
going back to bed.
you guys still
Older
decently
brother.
little, kind of far off, but you can see the landscape for sure. But he does say that it's probably going to be early in the morning. If you guys wanted to get some sort of rest now, uh, by all means. I'll probably say this too. I would say at some point the night crew, you guys probably would have woken up. Uh, the way I'm looking at this is, the captain would have said, go wake up your friends. As somewhat the closer that you guys get, he's going to try to have you guys almost be on the same schedule. So with the night crew, if you guys go ahead and get up, like in a sense pushing a long rest, but for me, I don't care. Um, but it's the fact that this way, uh, you guys can maybe get think of like a nap in as everybody wakes up, and you guys can start your journey like early in the morning.
Perfect.
So,
Early.
uh,
Yeah.
as
Should we should probably tell the others, right?
Oh yeah, quick recap.
yeah, for sure, easily able to tell them. Anything anybody else is wanting to do during, you can see for a fact as you guys are slowly, kind of making your way into the dent of this uh, continent. The water itself has gotten a lot smoother as you guys have gotten closer. The clouds themselves are slightly kind of together, not of a storm, just of a cloudy night. Um, but nevertheless, if there was anything anybody was wanting to do before you guys wake up in the morning.
Could
Yeah,
I?
just reshape the box. Other than that, but that's what I always do. So
Yeah.
continue on my
Uh,
usual.
Can I see if I could try and contact Mailer? See if get his insight on.
You can make a religion check.
I'm great at those. 5.
You kind of try to go to a somewhat quiet area, and uh, you're kind of slowly getting better at this meditation of uh, trying to just relax and calm the beast within to contact this patron who has helped you out before, and even though you took his gift at the grain of salt, he was willing to come back to help you and give you a set of trials for you to complete to show your dedication to him if you deserve a second chance. You try to sit there and pay attention and contact him, and you're not getting anything. It's almost what kind of comes to your mind as you're meditating is uh, kind of about 4 to 5 of little kind of like rocks or stones, kind of like just piled on top of each other, and that's kind of like all you get.
Uh,
Even the area around this was like almost, think of it like a heavy fog. You don't see anything beyond about like almost a 5 foot patch of like kind of like a dirty grass as you see the about like 5 rocks as it's stacked on top of each other.
I think I had made my decision for that for what was the last trial, and I was hoping to let you know my decision.
You're not really getting much of anything else.
Uh, I hope next time I see you, I can tell you what it is.
As you kind of come out of your trance, uh, kind of feeling unanswered and uneasy a little bit. Something you was probably wanting to get off your chest, and unfortunately, the bearing of it must continue for now. Anybody else? Okay. So, as you all wake up on the next morning, which is the 9th, um, I'm really glad that I don't have to say any of these day names. Like, I don't know what I was.
We should have just done them. Why didn't we just do them after the normal dates? Like, make our lives easier.
No, because that's no fun. I didn't want
Next campaign.
I didn't want it to be like super simple, but I didn't want it to be like, you know,
It's
complex.
the 10th, right?
No, it's the
Mm-hmm.
9th.
Is it the 9th on the next day?
Yeah.
Next
Okay.
campaign, we just gotta be like, what day is it exactly? What
added
is
it
this
a
day
day.
called?
Change the days again because it's a different world.
So
Or is
yeah,
it?
yeah. Right now, you guys are waking up on the 9th.
Mm.
Okay. So
I was just say, if it's the 10th, do we need to roll?
I mean, you would, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move you guys right there. As you guys start to kind of wake up from your slumber, some of you getting it best sleep as you kind of can, and some others who manage to definitely get their full, less rocky of a sleep of rest. Um, as you guys wake up, pretty much most of the other crew as well is kind of up at this current moment. Um, and you guys are looking out, and you can see kind of like other somewhat stationary like ships. Um, not like a not like a siege or anything. Just this is imagine like this little giant area you guys are in, like a port, but there is no docks. Um, as you kind of look to a little bit of the cliff that you guys can see, this little area, which you can't see all all the way around, but this little area that you guys are close to seems definitely jagged with rocks that is protruding from the waters itself and kind of slightly going up to kind of like a cliff side. It's not like a sandy beach or even just a rocky beach. It's just kind of like a cliff. There is no port here. Uh, you can start to kind of make out what appears to be like a small dock, but it's more sideways against the rock a little bit. And you can see what appears to be small boats that are kind of closer to it. And you can see as you guys are slowly coming into this area and kind of like just sitting, waiting, watching things for the moment. You could say probably also just getting your stuff together and just kind of watching a little bit before your day really gets started. And these small boats seem to be going from this little dock that was on the side of this cliff, go out to each of these boats, and it looks like they might be carrying something out to the boats. You can see a couple of people coming off the boat onto this smaller boat back to the docks, almost like these small boats of the transportation method.
Hmm.
You can see what appears to be uh, kind of like a think of an old style elevator shaft, uh, where people are possibly having to turn. I forgot what that was probably called. Um, but turn kind of like a lever as it rises a platform or declines a platform, allowing either what appears to be supplies or people going to and from. So this seems as how this is probably their shipping method. But there is again a decent amount of boats, but not like what you would typically see at some other ports that you guys had stopped by before. So as the captain kind of approaches you all, and he's like, "Well, that was a very interesting journey, but nevertheless, I think I done well and got you all here. I would like to say remotely safe.
Yeah,
Besides
it's pretty
that
good.
last thing, but other than that, it wasn't my fault.
No, no, it wasn't.
That wasn't even involving you, so don't worry about it. We'll
Well,
figure it.
I hope you guys the best on your journey, and please let me know if you need us to stick around, at least with your the money that you gave me. I can try to get some sort of supplies if depending on what they have here, and uh, try to go from there.
Would you need more? In case you need more, or no?
I mean, I can't say yes and I can't say no. I do not know their methods here of the cost of most things. Uh, from what it looks like, though, one of these tiny rowboats or smaller ships will eventually get over here and probably ask what we need, and we'll see what they have to offer. So,
Huh? If you need more coin, I can give you more.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to more, but at the same time, it was a pretty interesting journey, and 100 gold hopefully will get me something here. At least just resupplies of food. Uh, Luckily, most of everything wasn't too damaged. Yeah, we might have a box or two that's broken, but that can easily remake another box. Like so. Plus, you have the hole that was in the ship, fixed almost like there wasn't nothing there. So, you know, I'm fine with everything. Hopefully, this is going to be fine. I think we'll be good. But you guys just take care and be safe on your journey, especially with that thing down there. And I'll say you guys haven't went down and got it yet. You're not like preparing to leave, but it's just you guys were waiting to see how this morning was kind of
Hmm.
turning out before you went and grabbed the final piece of your party.
Hmm.
But if there's ever anything I can try to do, just I guess send me a message. I'll
Yeah,
try my
don't worry
best.
about it. Yeah. Well, they they did say that the route would be known to us. I guess we just head off towards, and Rissa looks at the map. You know that pincer-looking thing. I think that feels like a solid bet to me.
As
Let's
good a bet as any.
Jagged
Yeah.
Rock. Sounds about right.
I was probably thinking we'd be walking at some point and come across a dried up riverbed or something, and we could just follow that. That was
Yeah, we can also see it from the
as
sky.
good of an idea as I had.
Well,
Uh,
guess we'll be making our way inland.
Um, are you guys going to do like magical means, or are you going to wait for like one of those boats to possibly?
No, it's gonna
I
magically
Magical.
fuck
assumed
off.
we would just fly.
Okay. Uh,
Alec, did you sleep well last night?
What did you do to me this time?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
This isn't what I signed up for.
I mean,
It's
you can always
everything you
throw,
signed up for.
you can
What?
always
What are you
throw him
talking
into the
about?
water, right? And his lantern into the water if he goes into it.
Indeed.
It's fine.
Would you
It's fine.
drown?
Alec
Would you
Alec has a
drown?
plan for the next time he's taking care of your lantern. Don't you worry about it.
All right.
We'll
Alec
take
has
you on a
looked into
little
this.
trip.
Sounds fun.
What?
He's not impressed.
Wait, would
Like
you?
he's really angry about this dream. He's
Would
enraged a
you
little
I
bit.
drown?
mean, Alex is probably not going to say it, but like getting rained and like pelted by potatoes, which I'm pretty sure like freaking hurts.
Mhm.
Like that's not a pleasant dream. There was no cover. It's just an
No
It was just a
endless.
umbrella.
huge, endless field of potatoes.
I'm
Unless you
pretty.
like pick up potatoes and hold them over your head, you
I'm
got
pretty.
nothing.
Like that's the thing.
You're
It's like
aware.
no matter how he tried to get away, it's like as the storm kept coming and
They
raining and the
came at different
potatoes
angles.
like kept slightly piling up a little bit. It's like he felt like he was suffocating in potatoes, like they were trying to kill
I've
The
written
potato
down a
war.
script for my next dream,
him.
if I may.
um. So, as you guys went and retrieved the box and coming back on deck, everybody go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Let's
Mm.
do it!
Yay,
Woo!
wisdom. Please. Yes, hell yeah. Second time today. It's like when
Wow.
it seems like how about
Oh
no?
God.
Oh
Let's
god, the numbers
how
keep
about
I
going.
no?
might be able to get above 10.
Alec is so
11!
enraged that
Second!
nothing can
11.
beat him today.
uh,
Yes!
almost,
Alright.
almost had everybody above a 20 at least.
Yeah.
Today.
Five.
Zoe is like everyone's like cruising, and Zoe is like dragging himself along, like.
So, Kuma, Orissa, Alec, and Tay, you guys
New box.
there's kind of like a sense of just the newness of this land, as none of you have ever been here or know anything about this area, and it's just you're kind of slightly again excited or just ready to get this part of the journey in and over with, um, to get this thing out of your hair, so you don't really notice it. So deep down,
I just realized I can't add a D4 onto saves, so it is 7.
uh,
Sorry for
deep
your
deep
loss.
down, as everybody's kind of gathered, the whatever thought that probably comes into your mind that just kind of angers you. This isn't not necessarily the same type of feeling that you would get. Um, I don't quite remember. I don't think you have, if you fail to save, but it's not like.
I think I did early on when the full extent was just we were like,
Oh
hey,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think we should go get the orb.
yeah. You were just very pokey about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that. It's not like you're trying to claim the box. You're not trying to claim the orb. You're just angry. You're just really upset.
We're angry.
And it's like while everybody's like having their conversations about this new area, this it's almost like you looked at this rocky terrain and it's just a small bit of you just kind of remind you of her and how almost because of this thing that you're about to have to take care of is what really caused all of this mess to happen. And you're angry, you're frustrated. But nevertheless, where do you guys head off?
I think we're just gonna head into a beeline towards the pincer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they did say, like, the library said the path will show itself, but I mean, without the path showing, we're just gonna move in a direction that seems okay.
I don't think it was the library. I think it was the fire genasi.
Oh yeah, that's true. Their genie.
Yeah, I think it was him who said that it should show a path. But anyways, okay.
That was it.
So as you guys start to head off in that direction, we'll just go ahead and just like moving you right there. As you guys were this just leaving the premise of the sea and going into this environment definitely hits you differently, where you could taste and kind of smell the the saltiness of the sea, especially with a lot of it kind of like clashing into the cliff sides, and a lot of these think of kind of like the salty like deposits in the air, so you can definitely smell it as you guys kind of break that little barrier going above this landscape, which you can see the city kind of like to your left a little bit, uh, which definitely gives off a more rocky like terrain than more of like sand. Uh, you can see just almost like nothing but sand and rocks for like miles and miles. You kind of have an idea of where the city was located, where you were thinking about these pincers and where that direction is. So you guys are, in a sense, heading in that direction. Um, as you guys are heading off into that direction, the the stiffness of the air just itself is kind of like it's getting you all to really cough and like, man, you guys are just thirsty.
Mm.
Do you guys want to keep pushing?
Oh fuck.
I'm sorry. What was that?
No, me saying oh fuck.
Just
Uh,
you guys are just feeling. You don't know if it's just this environment of the heat, the intensity, the humidity, you don't know if it's just that or what, but it's just as you guys are kind of about again about like 30-ish, somewhere in there of miles off from the coast and starting to head obviously inland and closer to the middle. It's like you guys are just really starting to feel thirsty.
Even the eagles.
Yes.
This
Thirsty
is
birdie.
dry. Yeah. Let's hurry up, get this over with.
What do you guys do?
Eagle sound.
I guess that's keep going straight.
I mean, we're going. I mean, it's thirsty, but
I'm trying to make sure I know where you guys are going.
I'd try to cast create food and water, but then a clump of food and water would both fall on us.
probably
Oh,
not the best
I
as
was
a
I was
fly.
thinking you
thinking for the
create it right in
water.
front of us.
If I
Just
create
create it right in
water,
front
I
of
would
us.
just use that, and just make it
think the-
rain as we fly through. But
I think
I
the
don't
eagle
have
just be
create water.
annoyed but keep pushing until it's actually really bothersome.
Um, well, sure enough, as you guys progress even further and no, quit doing that. I'll do it on this one. Further and further, like it is getting bad. Like you guys are just you're not quite sure how much longer you can go, like with parched mouths and the what feels like of dehydration.
I think Orisa eagle will go down and let like a hole for water.
Yes. Big hole now.
Um, okay, so you guys go down to land.
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys kind of go down and kind of like start to land, and it feels weird as you guys go to land, as you try to like kind of walk a little bit, where the sand kind of almost feels like it's instantly stopping you just because of this texture and your weight slightly going in. Some of you probably tumble just a little bit, not much or bad. Um, but you're definitely on the ground now. We're just as sand is blowing into all of you. All of you are just uh, technically still in. If you really want to be funny about it, technically you guys are all still in your winter clothing.
No.
No,
I
I'm an
mean,
eagle.
I'm
I'm
an
an
eagle.
eagle.
I have
Oh
feathers.
gosh, it's too hot.
But sure, as you guys land and you try to find water, like you can make a
No. We have. I think Orisa looks expectantly at Zoe at that point.
Hmm?
And if he's in the, or is he, if he's in the lantern, like eagle, Orisa's gonna
No, I'm
like.
not in the lantern.
He's like
I
tick tick
guess.
tick on it. Okay, you're not in the lantern.
Unless
You look
I needed
expect.
to for transportation.
No, for two eagles you don't need to.
Okay.
Orisa eagle look expectantly at you and like points like
Hmm.
sort of
Hey
like
guys.
digs
Are
in
we
like a tiny
settling
hole.
for the night, or is this just a snack break?
So opens her mouth like.
Snack break. All right. I'd like a couple minutes here so that we're not just letting the water evaporate immediately. I'd like to cast creation, and I'll create a tent with like a wooden trough on the inside.
okay.
And
Sure.
then after that's made, I'm going to cast create food and water, such that the water lands in the trough and the food lands just on the ground beside it.
Okay.
Yes.
You go to do that. While you do manage to create the tent and this little trough, when you go to create food and water, uh, the food definitely comes out more dried. And
No water comes out.
there's just no water.
Mm-hmm. I look at Alec. Do you have the ability to create water?
Yes.
Could you try? And I point to the trough that I made.
You want to give me a better dream tonight?
We'll
You're
see how
right
the
back
water
there.
tastes.
I'll make yours
And if the
taste
water
foul
comes,
just for you.
I'll make it taste better.
But sure, I can cast create food and water. Double whammy.
Well, I meant just create water because I already tried to
But
create food and water.
oh well. And You're all out of luck. I could just
Oh,
create the
I
same.
mean, you can try the spell a second time, see if it helps.
Maybe
Sure.
Maybe if we make
sure.
the dome first and I turn back to the eagle. Dome, bubble.
I don't know if she understands you.
No.
Uh,
What do you mean?
the eagle understands words. Actually, the eagle is one of the few creatures who understands
They have like
language.
an intelligence of 8. They're smarter than Tay, I think.
They're very smart.
Nope.
Whoa.
No, as
Yeah.
smart as? Oh, a little bit less smart.
So, what do you guys do?
Less smart.
They're smarter than Nyx by like 2 points or something.
Let's see. Yeah, sure, I'll switch out of form. Eagle has only 2 intelligence, by the way, with 14 wisdom.
It
I
has
really
a
like
what intelligence?
2 with 14
2?
wisdom.
I thought they were smarter than that because I thought when they turned Grog into an eagle, he became smarter.
I mean, that's just role playing.
Anyways, so what do you guys do?
I just turn into my normal form, and I just say, "What do you want?" Something about the
Uh,
dome.
I think we'll need the. I'll point over to the trough and the dried up food. I think we're going to need the dome in order to create any water. I think we need a more hospitable environment.
Oh wait, I lied.
You
I
gotta
have-
create water. It's
I
just
have
not prepared.
create or destroy water.
I create water works fine.
So
I'll
we
just
can
create
destroy
it.
it if you.
We're trying to create it. I'll
So-
just throw up the dome
Okay.
over the
My
water thing.
bad. I
Uh,
am literally blind when it comes to my spell.
You throw up the dome.
It's
Well,
fine.
everybody's able to kind of, in a sense, get in. Eagle Akuma kind of like is able to just stick the head in. Too much. Um, as I don't even think a large
Maybe-
creature is supposed to be able to fit in there.
No, but I just want water.
So, but anyways,
Maybe-
the dome is created.
I mean, try again with create water, I suppose.
All right, so Alec just kind of looks at Zoe and is like, "Here, you happy?" And tries to create some water.
You go to do that, and it's just steam.
Well,
Even in the dome.
Yeah.
Can I try and lift it, like fight the steam as it's happening? Ah,
this
fuck.
is a first.
I was, okay.
This is
It
I was
tastes
hoping
like-
for something
sauna.
else. I guess your dream won't be that good.
It
tonight.
doesn't taste like hot air, but because you're in the dome, but the steam just goes through your mouth like like air.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know you were what's it called? Impotent.
Do we got any water jugs?
I mean, yeah, I always have tea. What do you mean?
Tea that makes you
I'm gonna-
more thirsty.
Oh, can I open my water skin and see if I get anything out of mine?
Sand comes out.
Ah, crap! This was my sand water skin.
Well, I'm not feeling
Ah.
really parched right now. I mean, Eagle me felt parched, so I guess we just swapped polymorphs around so other people don't feel thirsty.
No, everybody's feeling thirsty.
I mean, streams
Akuma
carry
Eagle,
over from
could
the
you
Eagle.
hold this for me? And I hold up my lantern. Just like hold it in your beak.
Sure. She just takes it.
I go inside my lantern.
Okay.
I'd like to open my mini fridge. Are my bottles of water fine?
Wait, Zoe's in his lantern.
Yeah, I mean,
in Akuma Eagle's mouth.
in your, I will say this, in your lantern, it does appear to be fine.
I drink as much as I can before I come back out.
Ah, he's terrible.
And I'll attempt to bring a bottle out with me when I come out.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily think plastic was made back then, but you try to bring a form of water out, and
I was
it,
already trying to
it's
destroy the
just-
environment.
your hand is empty, as I'm pretty sure that's not allowed.
Yeah, it's a magical. I come out with an empty hand, like here. Sorry, it didn't work, but I feel much better.
Unlucky.
Should we go back to the town and get some water?
Maybe.
No?
I don't know.
Um,
Don't eat the sand. The sand doesn't taste good.
I'm not eating sand. I'm having this terrible cold.
What if hear me out? What if we bury the orb and then come back here after it's created an acid lake, so at least then it's humid?
This is a bad idea. We already did this once.
I mean, technically, he's not super wrong considering the orb was made to put water in this area, but only in a specific place, I assume.
Probably. I wonder
mean, I
what it
guess
would do if we did bury it. Would it create like more sand since it's not in the
Maybe.
right spot?
Maybe not.
I mean,
Well,
I am curious
don't
what
like the
happens.
idea.
You can
I
try
am
and
curious
find
what.
out.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't want to bury it, but I'm curious what happens if we just put it out on the sand here.
We could open up the metal box
No.
and just drop it on the sand, see what happens.
I mean, I'm curious. I mean, it is where it's supposed to be, but not really.
This is probably why the guy that gold Akuma's golden brother hates us.
But because you're willing to try the things people
Screw
don't
him.
want to try.
It
Indeed.
doesn't
Yes.
matter.
Like we
Pretty
try it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and then we just move on, right?
Mm-hmm. Let's just get my brother
That
to
is
come
true.
for now, shall we? We hope to forget about it.
But
Forget about who? Oh, I already forgot about him. Look at that.
Wow, a
I
miracle.
mean, we could try, see what happens. I'm kind of curious, to be honest.
As long as you think it won't, like, I don't know, try to take over our brains or something again.
I mean, I'll tell you, I have no fucking clue what it's gonna do.
Yeah,
Maybe we shouldn't. Because
maybe just to not anger anyone.
Yeah.
I suppose. Snow water.
why don't we just take it with us, get some water, and then make sure we got somewhere to put it or something.
I mean, or some people go get water and we just stay here and I don't know,
Watch it.
watch it because the thing is like if we take this thing into town, you know, it's gonna influence people, right?
Okay, well that's true. So why don't who should go get the water then?
Someone who can fly like Akuma, maybe, or Orisa. Orisa's probably best to watch the orb, though.
Yeah, I have the most
Okay.
magical power to contain it, I suppose.
Indeed.
So me, Akuma, and
Zoe, maybe?
potato hate. I was gonna say potato hater, but
No,
Zoe
but
works
Zoe is,
too.
Zoe is really good at talking his way out of
I am
problems.
pretty good at talking to people. I could possibly convince them to lower the price on the water.
Sure, why not? Not that it's gonna matter on the price.
Potato.
Let's just get some water. This is too hot.
Alright.
I mean, I'm quite comfortable at this point. I'm pretty full on liquids.
Stop mocking me.
So while everybody else is like a dried up raisin, you're like a grape that is slowly withering. You can feel
Ever so slowly.
you can feel it. Almost just feels like the water is just seeping out of you. Not fast, but
I swear, every time he gets that feeling too, he's just gonna be like, you know what? I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go get
Well, I
something
can
real
only
quick
go
for
in
my
the
lunch.
lantern once a day, but I can be in there for like 8 hours.
Oh my gosh.
so what are you guys doing?
Well, I guess we're going up the ladder.
Akuma, me, and Zoe are gonna go get water back at that town or whatever.
Okay.
Yay,
Should
foreign
we get
town.
big water jugs or should we get little water jugs?
Whatever you can carry.
Exactly. I could probably carry a really big thing of water, but that would be kind of counterproductive.
So
I mean, I shouldn't be that hard. I got it. Let's go. Hurry up! I need water. It's too hot.
I am going to draw a green dot.
That's where
How do
the
we fix the
groups stay.
situation?
I mean, who's like,
That is where you guys
Yeah.
are.
I
That is where
there.
so really confused.
Potato
your
hater and
Orisa
Orisa.
and Potato Hater are staying, as the rest had powered back on into a Eagle Akuma headed.
What time of day is it? Like, will we have to rest in the town before we fly back, or
I mean, eagles can
Oh.
travel pretty fast, decent
I just
amount.
don't know how far we've traveled.
Um,
Like 2 hours.
you guys have, let's see, doing this, if Akuma uses all her abilities, uh, I would say it's pushing that time frame of it is getting nightfall.
Sure, why not? Then we could just sleep there.
Like
And then
it'll be getting nightfall by the time we get back, or by the time we get to the city.
By the time we
This is you guys kind of like traveling towards the city. It's as the day is slowly changing.
Okay.
So,
okay.
um, but as you guys are flying back towards the city, and as the night is slowly fading, you can kind of feel the heat is not necessarily too much as it's slowly fading and fading, and uh, uh, in a weird way, slowly becoming a little bit more colder and colder. But you guys are used to that. But as you guys are getting closer and closer to the city, you can see as it is again nighttime. Uh, there's almost like a little light source, kind of just coming from the city, like a really, uh, a really big light source. As you guys are getting closer and closer, and at night you can't tell too much from the city. You can see, uh, you can see kind of like a very, and you guys have dark vision, so it's not necessarily too bad. You can see though the rough terrain of kind of like a dried rock and mixed with a little bit of sandy terrain um, throughout the city. Uh, are you guys just flying over it for the moment, or are you guys like kind of going to the front doors going in? And there's not really front doors. It's just, are you guys going to stop before you get to the city to go in, or are you guys flying over the city?
I think we should stop outside
yeah,
and walk
Yeah.
in.
Kuma's like,
Probably
I'm not
safer.
gonna freak out if I fly over. So
Okay. So you guys kind of beforehand land, and
we're free.
you're not again like within the football field from kind of what appears what could be the main entrance, but there's not gates. There's not like um, walls or anything, but you do see what appears to be like towers that it's kind of like made of the stone material that's around. Uh, but they're not doing anything to you guys as you three are just walking closer and closer into the city, and you can see just now like what you're walking on does appear to be uh, almost like a path that was carved by like a river.
Oh,
Um, if you guys want to make a nature check, if you think you are proficient with nature,
I got a
if you if
one.
you if you think you are not, if you think your character's not nature oriented, then don't make the check.
I got a 0, and I'm not proficient, so
Proficient,
But
but I have a for some
I
reason.
have a 0 too.
can I
One.
persuade you to make it persuasion? No, I'm kidding.
Why do I have a one in nature?
Would you say the goblin has any
I
nature?
were I will at least allow the goblin, as you're the one who spend the majority of time in nature
I lived
itself.
not nature a long time ago, but it's
Um,
Here we go. Wow.
it's you you kind of know just of when it does like rain, where you used to live. Um, rain does tend to follow paths, especially when a lot of it can kind of get together and make either a tiny little creek, uh, but it's just kind of like this reminding, not that you would say anything, but it's kind of like this kind of remind you of like the imagery of like walking down like you barefoot kind of through the creek. Um, but this is definitely bigger, as again, uh, it almost would seem like was carved by rivers uh, at some point in time. As you guys start to get into the city, it is dark. It is not not pitch black, but you can see um, all these buildings tend to be more made of like clay like material that seems like to be around, or even some of the buildings that looks like they were made into the walls, almost like they were just carved out and then people moved in. As you guys kind of start to walk, there's like a purple aroma just kind of going through the streets. Not heavy, it's just very light. It's very flowy, and it's just flowing through the street. You guys see people. It's not like it's an abandoned city or anything. You don't see that many people as it is late at night, but
What does
uh,
the purple smell like?
you can make a insight check.
It doesn't work very well, but no.
It's
Sensitive no is not.
it's kind of pleasant. It's
Pleasant?
yeah, it's kind of like inviting.
Hmm.
But nevertheless, as you guys kind of start to walk in, and you can see areas that are slightly elevated, that are slightly lower. Uh, you guys are more following a path of what possibly was once where water flowed. And this is the streets, is this kind of like little carved out area. Uh, you guys can see as you guys continue further into the city, um, there is kind of like a building, um, a little bit, or not a little bit, but definitely more elevated um, than the rest of the town. Almost like this building overlooks this town in a weird way, and you can see almost like this. Uh, let me. I want to. Okay. Um, uh, you can see this building does appear to be like just black in color, and you can see what appears to be like a light blue and red, like almost like a auroras, kind of like lighting it up and fading, lighting it up and fading. Um, and you can see it seems to be lighting up some type of banner, and there does appear to be a symbol on there. But from where you guys are, you can't quite see it as much. Uh, but yeah, what are you guys doing?
What?
Is that building at the end of the water path?
No,
The river
it's
path?
kind of like you guys are as you guys continue walking, kind of looking, almost like for something that appears to be water, right? This is the reason why you guys are here, and you're seeing more and more of. It's like you're getting slightly a little bit deeper, not too deep into like what sea level. Um, you're slightly down a little bit, but it's open. Um, but you don't really quite can tell because it's just again it's a city. There's tons of buildings everywhere. This building that has all of this kind of going on is almost like a top. It's overlooking this whole area. If imagine if this was like a river, this building is kind of like slightly on a hill, a little bit above that.
Okay.
Interesting.
And
Is
go ahead.
sorry, is the aura flashing similar to when the orb was inside of my lantern?
Uh, I mean, your lantern was flashing colors, yes. Um, but it was also flashing like a multitude of colors.
Okay, it's just flashing one color. It's not like okay.
Yeah, where you see on the building, it's just a light blue, kind of like it's think of spotlights when somebody wants to like do kind of like upon their house or whatever. That's kind of what this is, but the more purpose is just highlighting the banner. That's all it
Party.
is.
There's a party going on, probably.
And there's even like a like a weird. The best way I can explain it is almost imagine like a spotlight, but it's just kind of like more of a carnival, but it's just over the town.
Huh.
And it and again, people seem whoever you do kind of come across into the streets. Not that you're necessarily talking to them, but um, they seem fine. They do seem to kind of be aware of your guys' presence as they do give you looks, which you guys mostly do see kind of like orcs.
Oh.
I look like an orc then, if the primary race here is an orc, and I'm dressed similarly.
Uh,
I'm just
they
gonna call them
they're
orc.
they're definitely dressed more to match kind of like the sandy to keep more sandy uh
Sand out of their shorts.
yeah, to keep more sand out or more sandy attire to also try to help block heat. But since it's at night, they have some of their like head garments kind of like removed a little bit. Um, you do see every once in a while like somebody walking around like with a collar around their neck.
Collar.
Slavery.
Um, they don't seem to pay you guys any mind, as it seems they are doing whatever they're doing, but uh, nobody is, in a sense, bothering you, as you guys are not bothering anybody. But there's,
Have we seen like a store?
um, go ahead and make a investigation check.
I shouldn't have asked. 11 total.
um, you do kind of come across what would seem as maybe like a sign, and it does kind of like say a like trade district, but um, slightly lost a little bit. But when you do get there, there's not anybody open.
It is nighttime. I don't think any of the stores will be open.
Maybe we should look for an inn or something. And are either of you able to send a message to Arissa?
No.
No. Okay,
Well,
sadly.
hopefully she sends something to us so we can respond.
Yeah, I suppose if we start taking too long, she probably will.
Yeah. Well, let's look for an inn and maybe hunker down for the night.
What's with that fancy building, anyways?
And as you guys still walk the streets, there's even in the direction as you guys walk, you can see that purple like aroma, um, just in the streets. And like as you guys like imagine like even as you guys cross like kind of like a crossroad in a way. It's like that or the aurora that you guys see, almost like it gathers to a point and it goes into a direction. It's in a weird direction towards the building.
That's precarious.
Like it's coming out of the building or going towards the building?
Going
Like,
towards.
because it's like floating? Okay.
Yeah. And again, it's pleasant. Like you guys can kind of put your hand through it, and it's not like it's damaging. It's not like it's doing anything. It's kind of like pleasant.
Maybe
Interesting
see if we can find an inn.
indeed.
Yeah, I think we should. Somewhere to sleep for the night.
As you guys continue to look over a bit, and uh, you even had to stop and ask somebody if, like where one of the closest inns would be, and you guys, he kind of like starts to remove his headpiece and all that as he was walking around. You can see he was walking around a little bit more armed than some others. Um, but you do notice as he kind of removes his a little bit gear to look at you guys, he seems not like Alec, but almost in the same way as he appears to
Little
be
kitty.
a tiger humanoid.
Kitty cat.
And he's just
Love it.
Hmm.
he kind of tells you guys to head up that way a little bit to the left.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
And he
Here's
he does
5 gold for your trouble.
he just takes it and he doesn't say anything and just puts it away. But he does like eye you all very like.
I do look like an orc right now
But he
in
still
similar clothing.
he just still kind of eyes uh Akumite as well. But he still eyes you, but doesn't say or do anything. He just kind of starts putting his stuff back on as he walks away. Uh, but you guys do come across the bloody spirit.
Bloody spirit.
Yes.
That's a very odd choice.
Nice name. Like it. Got some character to it.
Very dark.
Uh,
Doesn't have a good little blood.
as you guys are walking up to it, it's uh, the the tavern itself is more simple building. It's kind of like a little bit is built within, kind of like the wall as part of it sticking out. You won't really be able to see much of like the roofing type parts, but it seems as though it's trying to be somewhat pleasant, but it somewhat matches some of the same materials. They do have a sign though out is indicating of a tavern. As you guys, sorry, as you guys do walk in,
What was it? The bloody what?
the bloody spirit.
Cool.
All right.
So, as you guys start to head in, the door itself is not made of wood or metal, but just of a stone-like material. So it has that as it kind of grinds against the sound of the floor.
Ah.
But you guys are able to come in, and this is almost what you expect. If almost every building on the outside kind of looks the same, this is kind of probably what you expect it looks on the inside, as it kind of looks the same. There is a lot of cloth and like rugs ornamented more of the area, but everything there is no like really design to it. It's just plain looking. Uh, but you can see a tiefling who is there, kind of at the desk. He does appear to have simple like clothing, but you one of the good instances as you guys do get close, as he is also wearing a collar.
I look over at Tay and Akuma and just kind of say, "Let me do the talking here."
Okay.
Oi, bloke!
Sure.
Me and my 2 birds are looking for some rooms in this establishment. And I put my fist down on the table, on the bar.
It was just kind of like.
He just very well. How many rooms would you like to be having? Would you care for the usual?
2 rooms, one for the birds and one for myself.
The usual it is. And he goes over and grabs a key and hands it to you, and then grabs another one from underneath the table and also hands it to you. And he's, if you would like, I can show you to your room and where your servants will be staying.
Thanks.
Um,
And hurry it up a little. I'm a little impatient.
right away, sir. And starts to walk at a decent pace.
Got a fast walk going.
He was told to hurry.
Yeah, I follow along quickly.
He goes and shows you your room first, as you're the most important, though, and
dear.
had suggested that if you would like, I can lead your servants to their room, and I can make sure you return with the key, or I can show you where they'll be staying.
I'd like to see where they're staying.
Yes, sir. And he leads you down, kind of like downwards, going downstairs, and it's not bad. It's not like a dungeon,
Dungeon.
but it's definitely in the basement for a reason.
Oh, hoof.
And where your room is, it's in a weird way directly below. So he goes and opens the door, and open it, and he asks you, uh, "Sorry if I may intrude, sir. Have you ever stayed in our establishment before?"
Now, first time to Mila.
Uh, Very well. He doesn't bring you in, um, but he points to, and he says he can show you when you go back to your room. I can show you this when you go back to your room. Please, you don't have to step in here. There is a system we have that you can call down to your servants, and they can come right up to you anytime you call.
We
Uh,
must.
but this will be their quarters, and he kind of stands there patiently waiting as, like, he has his head bowed and he's just like waiting to decide.
The
Thank you.
funniest,
I think this is adequate.
the
The
funniest
two
thing
of
is.
you will be staying here.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Could you show me to my room now?
Yes, please, if uh, they want to go ahead and partake uh, in their rooms. We don't typically allow servants unless they've been summoned by their masters to wander the halls.
Go ahead, go in there.
Akuma just kind of walks in. Funny enough, she's also wearing a collar, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. But it's spiky. She is wearing a collar,
I look
I
down at
walk
Faye.
in slowly.
though.
Uh,
Funny
as
part.
as you two walk in, he does grab the door and he kind of shuts it, um, and he says to you, "You can lock it if you wish. If you do not think you would be summoning them, which means that they will be left in their rooms and not allowed to get out until you come back to bring them out."
Oh boy.
Um, as I said before, that we do not allow the servants to wander the halls unless they've been summoned. So please make
They've
sure.
been well behaved for the most part, so I think I'll leave the door unlocked in case the itch hits and I need to summon them.
Very good, sir. And he gests to lead you back to your room. As you go back, he does not step in. He allows you to walk in, and he says, "Yes, sir. Now, if you look to your right, in the middle of your room, which is kind of like on the wall. Imagine it's just like a little pipe that's just open on your end, goes down and into theirs. So if you were to yell for them through this, it will get their attention. If you were to call for them through that hole, it will summon them. It will go directly to their room, which is under yours. If you have any troubles, please let us know and we will take care of it immediately."
Yeah. How much is the charge for these services?
Well, typically they are just about 1 silver apiece, as we had to make sure we have enough supplies to take care of the servants. Uh, if they are not taken care of, they will not be good servants. So, 1 silver apiece per servant.
Okay, and for myself.
Masters are free.
All right.
Mm.
You got change for a gold.
Uh, yes, sir, I can.
It's the lowest I normally carry.
Uh, yes, sir. Give me one moment, and I will summon my master. And he walks away. Um, and there is another tiefling who comes, and he's not wearing a collar, but he's wearing nice clothing, kind of like a yellow tunic with just a little bit of white highlights onto it. Pants is kind of definitely colored a little bit. You can tell that he extinguishes himself differently than the tiefling you just met.
Mm.
But he comes. Yes. What can I do for you? I was told that you needed change.
Well, I've got a gold here, and I was told the fee's 2 silver.
Very well. If you go ahead and hand it to me, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. My servants are not allowed to handle any of the money.
Understandably, don't want 'em running off with the loot.
He has served me well, but might as well stick with the rules as they have been set. So, you give him the gold coin, and he.
You seem like an agreeable bloke. Why don't you take an extra gold piece for yourself?
Well, thank you. That is most kind. Yes, I have been, I guess you could say, well, fortunate enough, but unlike some others, I have do what I can to keep a decent establishment up and running. Especially with this type of area, we definitely get to have a lot more uh, servants who come our way. So depending on is why we charge the amount. Typically, some people don't like to go out with relatively very few. So surprised that you have so. Are you looking for more, or if I may ask, just why you're here?
We're passing through. We were hoping to journey into the desert. We've heard word of a treasure.
Treasure, you say?
Yeah, the
Well,
sort of treasure people pay for. The
well,
kind that runs red out of others.
I think I can understand what you're going with. Well, good luck with your journeys and be careful. There's tons of nasty buggers out there that I prefer to stay here. But let me go get that change for you. And he kind of walks away. And then, like, within 2 to 3 minutes, kind of comes back with your change and hands it to you. There you are. If you need anything else, you may pull this little string right here. It leads to a bell. My servants will hear it and will be here in any second.
Thank you.
No problem. And he just walks away.
I'll shut the door and then kind of enjoy my nice, luxurious room.
Your room is definitely with silk and just almost like what you would picture like a typical room over in Oztec. Uh, but not wooden, just more clayish or stone like. Um, but the silks are nice, especially with the rugs. Uh, it's kind of like easy on the feet as well if you would like take off your shoes and just kind of relax. It's an okay room.
It's probably almost familiar to the airplane with the arid environment and the silks and fine fabrics.
Yeah,
Probably almost feels like home.
there's a nice little similarity there. Tay and Akuma, you
Mhm.
guys
Our room.
is not necessarily well lit, but it's not like it's supposed to be bad.
No,
If the
okay.
servants are like, you know, let's say this, treated like wild animals in a sense,
Yeah,
then you guys probably won't live long, and then what would be the good of having servants? But
exactly.
it's not the best. Like the bed itself
No,
is okay. Uh, it's you. This is like
basement. I'm used to the basement. It's fine.
this
Fine,
is
but
And Tay's used to caves.
this is
so
almost like a very close similarity to just like sleeping in your sleeping bags.
yep,
That's
underground.
that that's just how it is.
Wow. Is there water in here? Like, they give us
There
water?
there does appear to be like a kind of like just a decent size jug, but that's it.
Cool. Water.
Oh gosh, I'm drinking that. I've been in this hot desert. I need something.
Okay.
Eh,
So you have like a definitely crafted, very beautiful looking jug that has like a couple of cups in there.
Perfect.
So,
Of course.
and even the cups themselves with a nice little design to them. Each one kind of like with their own little unique symbols and stuff. Like it actually looks really good for just a clay figurative cups.
I hope this water is good though. These cups are.
It's iffy between both of y'all's, but
It's water.
is anything else you guys doing?
So,
They have the ability to message me, right? One of them has the cantrip message. Akuma? No? I thought Akuma did. I might have misremembered. Oh well.
that's fine.
Zo
it's
stands
fine.
there for a minute waiting for them to message him, and then he goes, must have thought wrong. And then sits on his nice comfy bed and takes a short rest. Gotta get a spell back for something else.
I mean, it's late. Like, are you going to sleep or are you just taking a short rest?
I want a short rest to get a spell back, and then I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Orisa.
The commitment is real.
Orisa and Alec, what are you guys doing ever since they left? And be as it may, it hasn't been a quenching sit and wait.
No. I think Arissa would have built like a little obelisk out of sand, out of boredom.
I think that is easily doable.
Yeah, you should then like can't.
An obelisk out of sand, out of boredom. I like that.
Yeah, it's like wizard things out of boredom, just like everything sucks. And then I guess I go just climb up to like a nearby sand dune hill and just look around a bit and then go down again.
It just looks like the same for miles and miles.
Sand.
There's even
You see like
there's even like an
there's-
instance that it almost looks like you see a herd of something. It's hard to tell as it was creating just a lot of dust, not heading in you guys' direction, but just heading across the land. So you can tell that this land is at least occupied by something.
Do I hear like futuristic, sci-fi music, and I see a giant worm jumping out of the sand in the distance?
Not at the
Dude,
moment.
hello?
No. Maybe,
Okay.
but not right now.
Not right now. I've actually dealt with a giant worm like that in the desert in another D&D campaign, so I know how to deal with it. Anyway, like, and then Urza's gonna come down after like being bored and just looks at Alec like, oh, this sucks.
Like both of you guys, it sucks. It
Yeah,
definitely sucks.
this sucks.
Thirsty.
I hate,
Tired.
like, I hate, like, looks at the box. I hate this thing so much.
I mean, wasn't Alex really angry at this thing at some point? I cannot remember.
You
Yes.
was, but it goes away.
Okay.
It
Well,
even with the effects of the orb, whether you see it or you don't, the effects goes away like within the day.
okay.
So, for when you kind of got around it, and again you passed it when you guys were traveling with it earlier, it just goes away within after that
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So.
I figured. Well, no, he's still angry about the dream, so he's angry anyway.
Yeah, you have something to be angry about.
Angry all the time.
Angry and thirsty. Not
So,
a great.
as
very
all five of you start to lay down and try to get some sleep, while
I sent a message to Zoe. It's like, hey, motherfucker, what's going on?
Do I receive a message?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear the message and I go, well, the stores were closed, so we decided to find a place to rest, and I've got quite the luxurious chambers. Turns out they're fond of slavery here, and it gets cut off at some point as Zoe's going on to a tangent, because I don't think he's ever had a sending spell sent to him.
And Marissa looks at Alec. Huh, slavery here. Is it weird that I'm not surprised? Is it weird that I'm not surprised?
Talks about the tiger we saw and the fact that orcs
Yeah.
here, but you can't hear none of it.
Yeah, like Arista knows, like she knows because it cut off. He's like, It's like my fucking father. This guy, like, oh my god.
He's never
Anyway,
had a
Alec.
spell sent to him for
Yeah,
sending.
I know. I just for the jokes. He should probably rambling on anyway. Slavery. I mean, I'm not surprised. Seems a thing here. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
Also, why are you angry all the time?
That little shit
What?
keeps giving me dreams. He gave me a particularly shit one.
Oh, that sounds rough.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like the anger level is like fluctuating. I feel like you're not super angry about it, but you're like irritated.
I fucking hate potatoes.
But why? It's just potatoes.
They took our chocolate.
What?
What?
Only Tay
Oh.
understands. Tay shares this with me. Only he
Like,
understands.
what are you people doing?
Everyone's
It's
just
like
gonna be
whenever-
like, I'm surrounded by fucking idiots.
I mean, I should have just let the fucking dude kill them. Fuck. It's like every
Hey,
time
hey.
you guys are off on your own. Like
If it
you're not
wasn't for
included
me-
in.
If it wasn't for me, you'd all be dead.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just
You're
they're fucking
welcome.
idiots.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
fine. Thanks, but you're still an idiot.
True. True. I'm a good
I mean-
idiot though.
Ish.
There's
Well,
such a good idiot.
like potatoes don't take away your chocolate. It's the people who take away your fucking chocolate. That's not. It literally like potato is an object. It can't
No,
take anything.
there is a potato king.
Who the fuck put these ideas in your head?
Tay. Tay did this.
Like you know, I have a lot of regret in my life, and I keep regretting more and more. It keeps increasing.
Me and Tay
Like,
have the
I've
same
got-
intelligence level. What do you expect?
I can't believe it's like it's basic logic. There is no fucking potato king, and even if there is, that's not natural.
Out of character petition to make Potato King a protagonist at some point.
Look,
Yeah.
I was
I've already,
waiting for the boss. I
I've
was
al-
waiting for the boss fight with the giant potato.
I've already been working on this.
The guy that
Yeah, exactly.
got hit with the potato, he's coming back.
I mean, I'm just gonna point out if there's a potato king out there, I'm just gonna say like
Baked potato time.
the sandworm in the distance digging our doom. He's as my witness. He can go fuck you up. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna sit there and fight the potato king.
I just imagine, just see a potato with a crown. You just see Arissa like, nope, nope,
I'm out.
nope.
My lord, and then just bows out and walks away.
But that monkey thing would sure
You
come in
just-
handy.
You just walk
What
away and
monkey
cast
thing?
the dome, not
Monkey
allowing
mode.
Alec in.
What do we want the monkey mode for? I don't see anything.
No, not now. Just for Potato King.
I mean, I
I
wish
mean, I'm
I
not
was
gonna
there to
fight-
get
just-
this fuel.
Just said I'm not gonna fight it. I mean, like you're on your own at that point.
It's
I
fine.
mean-
We won't need your help. Me and Tay got this.
Yeah, I know how it went without my help last year time.
I wasn't here. I can't say.
Mhm. Well, you were here
No.
when I did it last time. I mean, never mind.
You're valued. Don't worry.
Oh
But you
no,
know
I'm not.
this.
I'm just a
Hmm.
walking shit magnet. But you know, that's what it is, right? It's just that I'm very good at like expelling it as well.
Every group
Oh.
needs a good shit magnet.
I mean, I say that, but like we have bigger ones. I'm just like a small one, relatively.
Who's the real magnet? That's the real question.
I mean, that's the real question. It's up for
Probably
debate.
the biggest magnet is the one who got himself kidnapped.
And I'm probably killed.
Yeah.
It's probably dead because of it.
What's his name again?
Ah,
So-
no one knows.
Anybody else doing anything for this night?
Once I've finished my short rest, and I'll wait a little bit since I just got a message to try and make sure Alex is asleep, I'd like to cast a spell.
Okay.
God
So here's
damn it.
here's what I'm going to do. Zoe, roll a d20. Alec, roll a d20. On my go. Whoever is
Oh,
the
1 second.
whoever is the highest is the second one to have fallen asleep.
I want to.
I can
want to
also
point
hold
out.
concentration until they fall asleep as part of the spell.
Now we're talking technicalities.
I can hold it for 8 hours until they fall asleep.
Like Tiny Hut specifically says, spells and other magic effects don't extend through the dome or can be cast through it.
True.
Question is then, can it extend through the dome? Can it be cast through the dome?
Hmm.
Considering it's not really a targeted spell per se, and
Um,
Can
that's technically
sending go through the dome, I would ask?
yeah, technically would sending go out.
I'll say this.
I hadn't cast the dome yet anyway, but yeah, it's a good question.
I'll do this. Any of non-aggression, so like drink can in a sense be of non-aggression.
I'm not dealing damage with it this time. I have no plans to.
I will. For right now, I'll think about it. For right now, we'll say the dream should be fine to go through. But this is more of the idea is because unless Zoe, you're going to just stay up and get a point of exhaustion to try to get this off.
I'm almost willing to. I won't though. I won't.
So, both of you just roll a d20 right now, and whoever's the highest is the one who hasn't fallen asleep yet.
Dang it. So I cast it. I go, it's getting too late. I need to go to sleep.
This bed is quite comfy. While,
Sucks to suck.
While Alec on the other end, while it's not hot in the dome, because in the dome you can have it to kind of whatever degree you want, you can't change the ground. The ground is uncomfortable, and it's sand. And if I've learned anything from a angry, betraying Jedi, sand sucks.
No.
It's hard, coarse, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. So, Alec, this one time, you're not getting your nightmare. So,
you think maybe it's ended?
Sweet relief.
The Potato King has not made his return in through the desert.
Let's see.
Man, I wish I had heard that Potato King stuff because I would be sending a dream to Tay right now with just a man with a potato for a head.
You should see what I thought of. I thought of something funny too. Alright, well, as you guys go through and wake up on the next day, which is the 10th, everybody was, well, Alec, because you're still in proximity, you still need to make a wisdom saving throw. So everybody make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw, you said?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Dun dun dun.
You know, that could be worse. There's a net 20. You still not net 20. Like almost every single wisdom save tonight has just
Hang
been.
on. It's loading.
Excuse me, I burped.
Yay!
That was picked up
17.
by the mic.
Hey.
We're okay.
Everybody's fine. Akuma, you feel you have to really shake it off.
No. Bad still.
You feel it like it's almost like you woke up and this orb is just on your mind, this fear to go and get it. But you have just barely enough resolve to
Must stay on focus.
to focus, but it's just in the back of your mind. It's not causing you to do any absurd thing, but it is a painful migraine to deal with. So,
man.
as everybody wakes up, what do you guys do?
I'd like to walk out of my room, walk down to my servant's room, and knock on the door somewhat impatiently.
More pounding.
Hang on.
Time to go. Hurry up, birds.
We're coming.
Remind me not to strangle him when we get out of this.
Yeah. You'll have to hold me back. We'll have to hold each other back, okay?
As you two eventually get up and start to head out, following Zoe. You can see there is appear to be another kind of like tiefling, different one from last night. is wearing a collar and is waiting patiently. And so as you kind of start to walk by to kind of start to go out, he kind of did like a nod or a bow. And as you leave his presence and your servants start to come, he raises back up.
I just keep walking without making any eye contact with him.
I
He
don't.
his view was obviously to not be looking at you.
Yeah.
So, but you kind of start to walk out, and everybody does, it's bright, like it's really bright. It's hot, sandy, but at least it is crowded, full of people. There is tons of people everywhere, and you guys can definitely see now the more of this landscape that uh, you all are in. I will out one more time. Tay. You know what? I'll do this. I'll out one more time if you want to make a nature check.
Nature.
I will
Okay.
even say a. Let me look.
And we give each other
Nature.
advantage.
No.
Nature.
Nature or survival.
My survival is
Could I
better.
do survival? Could I do survival?
I'll give you
11.
one or the other.
My questions are
I'll
not.
do survival.
He is not doing very good at any of these.
17.
8.
Fantastic. So you were kind of more focused on the people that's out and about, and the same thing with you, Akuma. You're looking at people out and about. What you're seeing, again, you're seeing people covered up, seeing people that are not covered up. Um, from could be possible of orcs. You even see very few kind of like hobgoblins that are walking around. I think there was one more, but not mostly here. Um, and as the same from the guy that you saw from last night, also a couple of tiger humanoids as they are walking around as well, but they seem to be walking in pairs.
Do they have 2 left hands? Just out of curiosity.
Kitties.
Oh my god.
Never mind. It was a joke.
There is a couple of people that you've noticed that seem to be more of fitting of the slavery kind. You don't see that many tieflings. Matter of fact, like you don't really see hardly any, but maybe one or two out and about of the streets. Um, you see a few humans, a few elves. You also see a couple, not as many, but a couple of orcs or hobgoblins. Almost anybody is definitely distinct as they are wearing some sort of collar, and each collar that is being worn tends to have a symbol on it that would match their master, so that it's definitely hard to not associate this one with this one. As you are looking at that, Tay, kind of going back and looking, you can see a little bit more of this. Seems to be more of uh, maybe was once here either a powerful water or a lake at some point. It seems, and it's not as deep. It's not like a lake deep, uh, but just enough that this here used to be where water set, and there was obviously a flow that came through and probably out into the ocean at one point. Um, but you guys can definitely see more of the buildings, and as I said before, looking as they are a part of either the rocky terrain themselves or made out of a stone-like clay material. Um, but it is definitely awake and busy.
I look at the other two and I say, "Follow me real quick." And I'd like to go to like a less crowded, like maybe off to the side of the road portion, if
Uh,
there's an alley into like an alley.
I mean, I don't think it's that hard to find like an alley type deal, or just even a slight little nook if you really wanted. It depends on your preference. If you're looking for like behind some buildings, I'd say sure.
Okay. And I'd like to cast seeming if I've seen these like collars around on people.
Sure.
I'd like to cast seeming. Basically, all I'm going to change on Akuma is her clothes are going to look a little more desert-like, and her collar now is going to have like an air symbol on it. And then Tay, I'm just going to make the clothes look more desert-like and add a collar that has an air symbol.
Okay. Yeah. Easily
Just
doable.
since they seem to have symbols that match their master. And then I'll add, like on my hip, there's a little bit of fabric hanging off, anyways. And I'll just add that same air symbol onto that piece of fabric hanging off.
You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to make sure that we fit in.
That's great and all, but don't take
And
it too
I am
far.
getting some enjoyment. This is rather fun.
Well, as long as you don't go too far.
I'm not going to hit you
No
or
worries.
anything like that.
Good to know.
Yeah. All right. Have either of you, do we just want to head back to the shops we saw last night that were closed, or
Yeah,
either of you
I would.
saw something else?
I'm not really sure.
No.
We could
No.
try
I
asking
mean,
around where there's water. That might be faster.
Arissa seemed a little upset that we were taking so long last night. She sent me a message.
I kind of figured. We're not
Yeah,
trying
she
to.
stopped listening at some point when I was responding.
yeah, as long as there is.
Well, that spell doesn't last all night, you know. It only
Yeah.
lasts for a certain amount of time, and there's a word limit.
But should we just head back to the shop? What do you think, Tay?
I would say so. I mean,
And
I wasn't really paying attention to the shops. I was more paying attention to the ground itself. More.
Tay,
What about it?
I'll say this as well. That aroma that you guys like saw at night, it's like not even there.
Something weird going on.
Or during the day it's not there?
I mean,
Is that what you mean?
right, like
Because it
right.
was there last night when we arrived.
Yeah, it was
right?
there at night, but for this point during the day, you don't see it.
Okay.
So, what do you guys do?
Let's hit those shops. Do you wanna?
Yeah.
How much gold you got? So.
I've got plenty. I've got quite a bit, and the prices here seem actually rather low compared to what I was expecting.
Well, then I suppose we should get our water and get out then before we disturb.
How much gold do each of you have?
I don't really want to say, but I have plenty.
I was just thinking in case it costs more than what I have.
481 gold, 1,170 silver.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
How much do you want? Do you want it all?
And no, I think we'll be fine. All right. So I think we
Why
should
don't
just
you
head back to the shop.
Shouldn't you hang on to our coin pouches, or do you wanna?
I can if you'd like.
No.
I mean, I hid them
what?
when I cast seeming, so anyone with a normal eye isn't going to see them.
Even if they are, doesn't mean we can't be trusted. Maybe we've been around you long enough that you feel you trust us. Make
If
up
I'm
your
casting, if someone can see through the illusion, if I'm casting an illusion not only on myself but you, I think they're going to realize we're quite powerful.
Yeah, for those
and probably not mess with us.
Well, that's the hope. Well, I suppose we should get on with this then. I want to get that stupid jewel back to where it's supposed to be so we can stop having the stupid migraine.
To the shop then. How were you all's rooms? Mine was quite well dressed.
It reminded me of the
But
basement.
there is some
I grew up
water,
in. At least there was water.
Sounds comfortable.
and it was really comfortable compared to a cave floor.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Not
all
as
enjoyed
comfortable
it.
as my bed. Oh well.
Mine reminded me of home.
Well, seems we all got that effect. Though I suppose it wasn't that bad all in the end.
Mm-hmm. I guess I should lead the way, pretending to be the master.
Very well. Well, behind you.
Follow along. I'll go back to the shop we saw last night that was closed.
Okay. So, you guys start to head back to the trade district. A little bit, I would say easier, but it's just now that there's so much people, it's kind of like having to go, like, through a mall with like crowded of people on like
Oh,
Black Friday or Christmas shopping.
but
Um, uh, but you've noticed that as you guys walk, that uh, if there was somebody that had a collar that was like by themselves, um, they tend to constantly be pushed as far as possible to the sides. But you do see where if there was somebody following their masters, they were obviously right behind them, not eyeing anybody, but keeping an eye on their master. As you guys continue to go through the city, which you do get to the trade district, and there is like a ton. This like think of a flea market. There's just tons of like pop up stuff everywhere. From let me look at some.
so many things.
Uh, you can see where there's people that are like selling animals, selling a small assortment of like fruits or like type of nuts. Um, you can come across and see some fabric. Uh, you can see some people who's done like uh, made material like uh, think of like buckets or buttons or just things that you can craft with clay, stone, maybe a little bit of material like metal here or there, not too much, um, and you don't really see too much of wooden things either. Uh, every now and then you come across something that looks like jewelry or weaponry. Uh, you can see somebody who's like selling spices or just small assortments of things. So there's tons of things that are being sold. And so obviously you guys are looking for a more specific and more liquidy texture, and you do come across one that is selling. I mean, it's advertised as selling water, and when you guys kind of approach it, and it looks like this person is dealing with somebody, there tends to be like a different variety of like uh, think of like really big mason jars that some that is like the size of like the orc and some that are like smaller that you can hold in your hand.
Yeah, can I walk up to one of these vendors?
Yeah.
With the jars?
Yeah. The you kind of stop to wait in line, and the person gets done, and you can see the orc who's kind of done with that person. Ah, yes. What can I do for you?
Or I'm wondering, your jar's able to hold up out in the desert. I got a bounty to collect out there.
All right. Is there? Is that what you're asking?
Would your no, I'm asking would your jaw hold up out there? I got reasons to be out there.
Oh, I mean, depends on how long and how far you're going.
Deep and far.
Ah, well, if you got good transportation, you're gonna need a few of my big ones. But if you're not going too far from the city, some medium sized, small can do is depending if you're making it back to safer areas. But since you said you're going far, uh, big ones it seems to be the best.
How long could a one big one last?
Depends on how many you're drinking from it.
Us three?
Well, if you don't care of being slightly rationate, then depending on are you trying to make it to Dim Harbor?
I'd say that's about the distance we're looking to travel. Dim Harbor would be an equivalent.
Probably one of the big ones, and if you you get them to carry maybe 2 extra small ones, depending on how you travel, you might be able to do it.
And that's on foot.
I mean, if you're on foot, I don't exactly know how you're going to carry a big one.
No, I'm saying how are you thinking of traveling with that?
There's plenty.
Carriage?
Yeah, carriage would be the easiest. You not from around here, are you?
No.
Yeah, there's certain times that they send out these carriages from here to Dim Harbor. There's tends to be a bunch of nasty creatures out there that constantly hit caravans left and right. So the ones who want to be stupid enough, yeah, they can just go out there and do it. But we have set times that are guarded, thanks to the Sunward uh, forces. They kind of help guide some of the caravans to and fro at a price, obviously, but they were the best bet. If you're trying to go on foot, I guess this is the last time we're meeting.
One large one lasts most of the way to Dim Harbor.
Well, like I said, if you want to be extremely rationate, and if it's just you three, then you'd be pushing it, but you can make it.
How heavy are these things? Could my servant here carry it?
Kind of looks at both of them. Well, I can tell you this. First off, these are just made to be more of think of a show and tell of how much it can hold. We have a different type of material that is used, depending on the order, that we'll make and have it perfectly fit, but you can come test it out yourself. They ain't that, especially filled with water, they ain't that light. That's what I said. You won't do it on foot unless you decide to carry everything yourself.
We've got some ways to make carrying things easier.
Well, is that what you want? Would you like a big one?
Joseph, does it look like if I'm holding a big one, could I go into my lantern while holding? Like, would it be counted as a possession of mine if I was carrying it?
No.
How,
No.
How
Also, it
heavy
will
is
also
that?
if Akuma has it, it will shift with
Yeah,
him.
I know, but I was trying to think. What about the medium-sized ones?
Well,
Can
how
I
heavy is the
take
big
one of
one?
those into my lantern, or even two of them?
The medium size, the way I'm looking at the size of these things is the large one is pretty much, think of a like an orc size. Like it's really big, but obviously traveling a long distance through the desert, like that's what's needed. Um, then there's like some medium ones. I would almost put a medium one roughly to like Tay size, so like think of like half at the waist. So uh, I would almost say for a fact Tay could definitely carry a medium, and Akuma with a good roll could probably carry a medium by herself.
So a medium's probably big enough that I could hold it and go in my lantern, though. Then
I'm going.
small enough.
I'm going to say that's probably slightly pushing it. I'll say any of the small ones for sure, which are not like small, but
Yeah,
uh,
probably like size of a cookie jar-ish.
yeah, like think of a think of slightly around like a gallon, right? Like a gallon of milk. Like
Okay.
it's about like that type of size. I would say that you could probably take.
How many of them do I think I could take with me into the lantern in one trip? Two. I was thinking maybe four if they're milk jug sized, like
I'll
cramming them into my arms.
I'll say this. I would say four probably seems decent. You could probably hook two to the side of you and hold two, and try to go that way. I would be fine with that. I wouldn't see
Okay.
necessary
Also,
issue.
Joseph, in eagle form, could I technically take 2 big jars in each talon?
Probably not.
Well,
Probably one, considering
I-
like water weighs a lot.
yeah, it weighs a ton. So like,
I think what I'm gonna do is do one large one and then 4 small ones, and maybe a medium if Tay wants to carry it, and you can transform into an eagle while holding it, and then grab the big one. I think that
I mean,
might work ish.
what she could do is, if you wanted to try this, where I give her the medium one, and I could try and hang on to the large one. When
Well,
she
I'm
goes,
thinking once she's an eagle, she could hold on to the large with her talons,
well,
right?
I think taking more medium ones is better.
I
Take
think
like
if because she can hold the medium one, and the way polymorph, I don't think I'm going to be too much of a stickler in the mud that I wouldn't say if she was holding a medium sized one, she could not, like, when she polymorphs, it will go with her as inventory. So the way I'm seeing this is you could take 4 into your lantern and probably stay in your lantern, since you can do it, what, 6 hours?
Yeah.
She can do
8 hours.
That should be fine for the trip back.
She can hold a medium size, and that will shift with her, and then it's just carrying Tay. And if you want to do one large one, then carrying a large one, and that should also be okay for the weight of an eagle.
Sounds about right.
So I'd like to get 4 small ones, 1 medium one, and 1 large one, right?
Okay.
Yep.
If that's what you want to do.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, and once we buy them, I'll just kind of gently pat the large one, and it starts to levitate off the ground slightly. Or I'll wait until it's filled with water and then levitate it. But basically,
okay. So you you tell him when he wants, like, all right, let me go check what we have in our inventory just to make sure I don't have to make any extra for you. Been slightly busy today. Kind of walks into the back for a little bit. Yeah, I think I should be able to do it. This looks alright. It doesn't look broken. And kind of comes out and he's like, "Here, you have a look at. You tell me if you think this is fine." And it's kind of like the large one. It's not like heavily cracked. It's just there is like a little size in it, kind of like to the top of it a little bit that is cracked, but not that it's like on the verge of breaking. But it's just, damaged goods.
I think about how knowledgeable some of us might be about if things are like. I'm thinking this would probably be like an intelligence-based check, and I look to Akuma and I go, "Tiefling, you think this will hold water fine?"
Perfect.
Hey, you can make an intelligence check.
Great.
I have bad intelligence.
How bad is it?
Oh god, it's not
8.
one. Intelligence.
You're worse than me.
Yeah.
You're dumber
I
than
think
me.
Or is
think
that
I'm
my
the only
wisdom?
one.
I don't remember.
I think
That's
I'm
my
the only one
wisdom.
with
Sorry,
intelligence.
my intelligence is 10.
It's
I mean,
a one.
Tay
you're
and
about-
Zo are equal intellectually.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean,
It looks okay. Like, looking at it, if you was to go up and look at it, which, if when you start to get closer to it, which is kind of like, leaning like on his counter a little bit, he's like, "Hey, tell her to bug off a little bit. No touching the counter."
Don't touch the counter, but get a good look.
He kind of looks at you and he's just like, "Sorry, they're not
I
allowed
gotta
to
inspect if I'm gonna purchase."
Now that's fine, but they have to not be all touchy. You never know, some try to overreach, if you know what I mean.
They're well behaved enough.
Yeah. So you looking, it looks okay. It looks like it should be fine as long as it's not like dropped, or if something hits it.
The pot.
yeah,
You know,
pretty
but
much.
it should be fine. And what it is, um, uh, it's the only one that no, not only one, but out of all of these, the more of a think of like a rectangular shape with the
Oh,
bottleneck at the top of it. Um,
I see.
so that's kind of like all of the bottles. They're all like this rectangular shape with the bottleneck at the top with just different sizes.
Oh, cool.
But
How much would these be?
110 gold.
Since we're buying in bulk, why don't you say just 100?
Do what?
Since we're buying in bulk, why don't we say just 100?
All right. Give me 1 second, guys. We're gonna take like a 2-minute break. Give us 1 second.
I was trying to get him to go down to 100 gold instead of 110 since we're buying in bulk. I didn't know if you understood what I was saying.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I need to keep it on the screen.
16. You know what? 20.
Because hold on, he was asking.
You said 110 gold, and I said since we're
Okay,
buying in bulk,
110. Okay, yeah.
why not make it just 100 since we're buying in bulk?
Yeah. Sure enough, he's just Well, yeah, that shouldn't be fine. Since you're taking this one off my hands anyway. Uh, come back in a couple of minutes. Let me get them all fixed up and ready to go, and have them filled up for you.
Thank you.
And so, you. Oh God, what's happening?
Is there a restaurant nearby?
Hold on.
Or like a kebab stand? I don't know. I think his camera broke.
His camera,
Or glitched.
like it showed him looking intentionally close and then leaning back in the chair. So like,
Leroy,
I didn't even
you
throw
okay?
that.
Leroy, can you hear us? I
he's-
think maybe he legged out.
Oh, yeah.
European internet. European internet.
Unbelievable.
European internet.
Normally I'm chilling at like 100 ms, but for some reason it went all the way up to 400. So
nice.
Your mic, your
Does William stole your
camera's
internet? What the
on
hell?
you.
no, it's just connection to American bullcrap happens every now and then.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
that's
gonna-
how it goes sometimes.
I blame it on it like there was a shark nibbling on the cable and that fucked it up.
Probably.
So you're looking for a restaurant, you said?
Or like a kebab stand or something.
I mean,
don't know.
yeah, there's
Food.
food. There's
Since he said to give him a couple minutes, I was just gonna go ahead and go buy some food.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Easy enough, I'd say. Are
Schnitzel.
you getting it just for yourself, or are you being nice?
I was gonna buy 4 portions, 2 for myself, 1 for each of my slaves. That way, it still seems like I'm treating them poorly compared to myself.
Sure. Do about. I'll say roughly 10 gold, and if you think you could talk somebody down, roll a d20.
You should roll it.
2.
No. So go ahead and just take 10 gold.
Full price.
But nevertheless, you did get food. What? Not as.
Listen, I saved 10 gold and then I spent 10 gold.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It worked out, right? So,
Yep.
let's see.
And now I have 353 gold after buying that.
After eating that and kind of like a couple of minutes of looking around, I'll even say this: like, if you guys were to look back at that building that was definitely like highlighted in lights at night, it looks like a plain, like clayish white building. Where at night it looked black with the
Not black anymore.
yeah. It just appears to be a.
That's suspicious.
Yeah. You know, that building is kind of off. But I guess we don't have time
And
for it.
as you guys are waiting, you are approached by a. If I were to, I don't know, get the right one out. Kind of like a human figure. He doesn't appear to be wearing a collar or anything, but he is very dressed, kind of like nicely, as he has kind of like a white vest with kind of like think of I can't think of kind of like sleeping pants in a way, but the white with more of a reddish like ribbons going around parts of his body, and he is wearing types of gold. But you guys, as you guys are, as he approaches you as well, you can see a symbol, almost like a think of like a tattoo or whatever that's on his right. And as he approaches, you can see the kind of like the blackish brown in his hair and his eyes that are almost of gold as well. As he approaches you all, good evening. I was sent here by my master. He would like to have a word with you all, if that is reasonable.
We're preparing to leave.
It hopefully would only take just a minute. He really wanted to have a word, but if not, I can tell him that you were in a rush to go somewhere, but I think he would find that very displeasing.
Would he be okay if we joined him on our way back through?
Back through where, if I may ask?
Back through here after we finish our business.
Yes, he's kind of slightly on the outside of the trade district. It's a little too crowded and not of his taste here.
I think about looking back to the others and asking if they think we should go. But then I think about the fact that a master wouldn't do that to his servants. How long does he want to speak for?
I'm not entirely quite sure. He seemed rather interested in something, and so he probably will. I would like to think be upfront with you and make a straight offer, and hopefully you will accept his offer.
Does this person in gold seem trustworthy?
You can make an insight.
I'm great at that.
Oh wow,
Uh,
insights, yay.
You know what? I'm pretty decent at it. Why not add a
Um,
D4 on? 20
Okay.
total.
He
Nice.
he appears to be telling the truth that he was sent by his master to come fetch you and your two servants, particularly as it seems his master had an interest.
Mm.
All right. I think if it's not going to take long, we can do that. Fine. We're waiting on our supplies, anyways.
Very good. I can wait for you with you if you would like, or uh, and usher you to his location. And
Oh, I figured you would lead us there and we'd go ahead and meet with him and then come back for our supplies. But
if
if you think it's best for us to wait for the supplies,
if you would like to go meet with him now, that is very possible. It's whatever you would like.
I think it'd be better to meet with him before we get our supplies.
Very well. Right this way. And he starts kind of like leading you through the trade district, almost coming out the same way you guys came in. Let me is you. Um, as you guys uh, get out of this kind of the trade district a little bit, and again, it's still crowded. It's just it's more crowded in there, but kind of like to the right a little bit. Not like in an alleyway, or whatever, but kind of like under an awning. There appears to be a pretty big man who's just sitting down, while it appears to be an elf that has like a little bit of a think of kind of like a miniature tiny crown uh, on her head as she is fanning him, and
Queen of party.
he's just kind of leaned back, and he has almost like black, slightly like of dreadlockish like hair, more fitting with the scene of kind of like a definitely tanned, um, with his somewhat simple clothing, but he does wear jewelry as he's kind of just sitting there watching as you guys approach, and he will just look at you and just, hey, welcome. I'm glad you can make it. I wanted to make a deal, and I'd be honored if you would sell me that tiefling of yours. I can pay you quite a big penny for her.
I love Goku was like in the back of my. I bet this is going to end up being me.
This tiefling's worth more than you can offer. You see, she's my form of transportation through the harsh desert.
Oh, the money I can pay you is far more than what she probably is worth. And you could see just like almost like a little bit of built up, like kind of like grease a little bit. That's in like areas you kind of get like a slimy feel. But
Kuma gets the bad vibes.
that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode.
Okay.
Hey, you say 10 million.
Ooh.
But
10 million gold.
1 billion gold.
I'm worth so much.
Because the fun thing is like Akuma can break free in like fucking 1 second
Yeah.
from that fucking creep. Take the money, walk off, Akuma just busts out later, noob.
Just murder the guy.
But
Yeah.
nevertheless,
Thing is,
I really would like to thank you all for coming out, but it's a YouTube video.
Unlucky.
So hopefully we'll have it fixed for next time. But I hate it that you guys couldn't stop by. But nevertheless, we'll act like you're here. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you all had a wonderful time. And as you're watching this video, I hope you all have a wonderful night, a wonderful day. We'll catch you later. Bye.
Don't
bye.